Hello, everyone, and welcome to State of the Realm. New patch, new show. What else is there to say? We're going to be doing first impressions of 7.3, and while this isn't necessarily a spoiler cast, we're also not going to be holding back on talking about the MSQ, so you haven't done it yet. You have been warned right here at the beginning. No complaining, no whining. Just got to do it. Anyway, I'm one of your hosts, Mr. Happy, and of course, joining me is Sly. Hi.
Hi, welcome back. Hope you had an awesome vacation.
It was good. Yeah, I didn't get that much sun, actually, because we were under an umbrella most of the time that we were, like, on the beach. Like, I was out, I got a little burn, like, here and, like, here. But that skin's already largely been grown back / washed off, whatever. The dead skin is gone.
Whatever.
Is what I'm trying to say. The
Great,
dead skin is gone.
Great. So lots of, I guess you ate lots of fish, lots of seafood.
Oh my God, I ate so much food. I'm barely eating this week. I have to swing the other direction.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Cutting after a fucking vacation.
I can't, how do I even list it? I had lamb. I had beef. I had fish. I had so many different types of fish. I had squid. I had octopus. I had croissants.
Ew.
I had salt. I had saltfish for breakfast, which was great. I had like a saltfish. I had like eggs Benedict. I had the list is endless, man. It was a lot. I was eating something. I was having frozen espresso martinis. It was all sorts.
Oh,
yeah, it was a lot. I ate a lot. I did, however, work out every day I was there, except for like the last day.
of course you would. Yeah.
There was a gym. There was a bunch of people at the gym, and there were free bananas at the gym.
Free bananas at the gym.
Yeah. Not gonna say no to the free banana. One day they had apples, and I'm like, that's weird. I don't know anyone who's like, yes, between my reps, just fucking rip one out of an apple. All right, but yeah, no, it was a good time, and I actually got back a day earlier. I got the itinerary wrong, so I got back the day before 7.3 at like 9 p.m. and then still.
Lucky you.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to wake up early for patch. And then I naturally woke up at 5 in the morning. Like, I didn't set an alarm. I woke up at 5 a.m. and I was live by like 6.
Patch was already up by then. Like, yeah. I was up at like 4:30 and like getting breakfast and everything. And by the time I get to my PC, it's like 5. And Mal, my main mod, he's like, yeah, Patch is up already. Like, well, okay, I'm live.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So I did get to do all my patch day stuff. I didn't get to do everything the day of patch. I waited a day to do some things, but I got all of the main things done that first day. And I've been otherwise shackled to Vault O'Neirin since then, and as I will be.
One iron.
The Vault One Iron. Yeah, I will be shackled to that vault for quite some time, given what's on the line here.
Oh yeah. Well, real quick, how much is it on your server?
Coral's only 250k each. Oh, you
no.
I don't know. I don't care. It's I'm assuming.
I mean,
not
originally,
as much.
Yeah, not as much as like day one. I mean, it's probably gone down. Like, I want to say right now it's probably 50 mil. Day one, it was probably 100 mil, and somebody did get away with it.
Somebody bought one for 215 mil on Gilgamesh the day of. I know that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that mount is. I'm not buying it. I'm farming the content. I'm content to find. We'll see how long I stay in steadfast at that. But if it keeps dropping, it'll be a different story. But for now, it's definitely content.
Yeah.
Content.
Oh, yeah.
Before we get actually started in this, don't forget, everyone, sponsor Steel Series, of course, with the link, the 12% discount code. More importantly, of course, we have the patrons. We don't have any content locked behind monetization at all. sorry, anyone who is supporting on the Patreon is, you know, they're outstanding citizens
We
of
love you.
the state of the realm.
We love you.
Yeah. So thank you. Thank you to those supporting. Okay, with that, 7.3. So we have to do this every time before we even talk about the patch.
Okay.
More than ever, 7.3, people have noticed something that we have parroted for years, that I have spoken against for years.
Yep.
In that, just really the bare bones stuff of 7.3 is in 7.3 proper. It's why we kind of stopped doing spoiler cast as like we wait a week, because it's like we really do need to be able to talk about the story, because and again, it's people have noticed it more. They act like 7.3 is barren, more barren than usual. No, it's exactly the same as it has been. And that's never been a good thing historically.
No, it has not.
I wonder how much of that release schedule mentality is going to continue, because no doubt they've taken notice of what people are saying and any general dissent in regards to the usual schedule.
I really don't think we see a change until 8.x or 8.0.
Well, it's
Like,
not even
I really
about
don't
a change. It's more like how much does, I mean, it's not even a change, because you're saying they'll change it. I don't think they will. But I'm saying, do you
I
think
think
they've
they
been
will
impressioned
somewhat.
by it themselves? Yeah.
I mean, they had to. Like, they have to have an ear to the community. They have to see. I would think that they have an ear to the community. They see all the quote unquote backlash and quote unquote you know, opinions. Let's call them that.
I mean, there's definitely opinions. I don't know if they need quotes, but yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, they have to have an ear to the ground and kind of see these things, like see that we're kind of tired of basically not having shit to do.
Well, it's not about that. It's about the release of the patch being the least exciting part of the patch.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like with the patch itself, it's like you said, it's bare bones. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're doing MSQ. You are doing 24 men. You're doing the EX, and then I guess Unreal if you really wanted to. And
then there's maps
again
and,
with
whatever.
And yeah, maps for money, sure. That can kind of, last maybe a week, 2 weeks. You kind of get your money, get out, or maybe you continue. I don't know.
Or you just don't get jack shit.
With yeah.
So
but with the exception of maps, 4 things that you can knock out in a day. And then what do I do now?
Well, PvP is an option. And there are 2 new ranks as well for the season.
Started.
What do you mean don't get you started? Yeah. That's the thing. Listen, just because you don't do it doesn't mean nobody does it. I know people who have already climbed the crystal.
I've done casual. I've been doing casual. I'm not
talking about casual. I'm talking about the season, my man.
The season itself, I know. And I haven't done the season yet, but I've done the map, and yeah.
I've heard really good things about the map.
It feels, when things go bad or good, depending on, it feels shorter. It feels shorter than most maps, honestly.
Well, it's literally the Palestra, but it's not as big and it has the jump pad. Is generally what it is, which is I like, because I prefer, getting back into the action quick and not having the random thing. It's a PvP map, is what I like to call it.
It is.
It's because you should be able to tell that I prefer that after how much shit I've given Shatter, aka Shitter.
Yep.
Yeah, I much prefer the PvP versus PvP, but actually go bash on ice instead. Like, just, that's why I've always been a Seal Rock fan as well. Even with some of the imbalances that Seal Rock has very clearly had over the ages. I was a big fan of Onsal. I was a big fan. personally.
But
yeah, no, I mean,
but
the
yeah.
point still stands.
It's just that, again, you can really, with the exception of maps and PvP, you can get in and get out in a day. And it's the rest of it's like, what do? You either do PvP or you do maps. And majority kind of don't want to or don't even interact with it anyway. So again, what do?
Well, I mean, that's actually, so we're going to talk a little bit about that because I've actually had people reminding me that they have things to do that I don't even think of in some patches. Granted, that being said, there's no way most people are spending their time doing these things, but I tend to forget certain things because I'm kind of content pilled in a sense. And so we're going to review each of the individual aspects, but I am going to take some time out to go over some of the other things that one may consider using their time on. Chad already knows a handful of them, but we'll make sure to get into those as well. So we're going to start with the main thing, the MSQ. I do want to do an actual Dawn Trail overall MSQ discussion because we now have the finale. That's going to be its own episode in the coming weeks. So we are instead just going to focus on 7.3 itself. Bit of a divisive story patch, depending on how much people have been paying attention or theorizing. People I feel like are really into it and have been theorizing are actually, it kind of went exactly the way they thought it would go, which is crazy to think. But then there's people who just kind of casually enjoy the story who are less a fan, it seems, of it. And then, I mean, it's mixed and match. People are, I'm not going to, it's no broad stroke of like,
yeah.
You know what I mean, though? It's like, I feel like the people who got the most out of it are people like me who had very specific theories coming into 7.3. So I'm interested to hear what your overall thoughts were on what is Dawn Trail's finale.
Honestly, pretty predictable in my opinion. Like I kind of saw where it was going, and then once we get that marvel at the end of the story, it's like we most of us who were into the story kind of saw it coming, but yeah, like most people are like you said, it's been divisive. Honestly, I was just getting tired of Calyx. I was really getting fucking tired of Calyx.
Patches. How can you be tired of that guy already?
I was already tired of him when I saw him. I'm like,
just because he looks sleepy?
I'm like, somebody's mama, come get your kid. Come get your kid, man. Like, really,
they cover all that in this patch. They cover all that in this patch.
Yeah, somebody get your kid, man. What's wrong with your boy? Other than that, like, yeah, it kind of went the way I kind of thought it would, and now I'm kind of interested to see where it sets up.
Yeah, there's definitely an air of it's more important about how it ends, about what happens at the end, and not so much how it ends, kind of deal. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Again, I did think it was predictable. There was only one part I got wrong. I thought Calyx would die. I was actually surprised they decided to keep him around. I thought he was meant to be kind of a go through, get it done villain, and that we were gonna. But I did think we were gonna find out he had a boss, and I actually was.
Of course he did.
No, I'm not gonna say I was correct about who the boss was, but I feel about as correct as anyone could have been. So. The patch starts with us mostly trying to deal with the fear and panic around the Neo regulators and the dwindling amount that are left unregistered. We also spend a lot of time trying to figure out where Calyx is and what he even wants. And we do get some pretty good scenes and story bits specifically out of that. Pacing, the cutscene animations were all really well done here. I'm glad to see that they felt much more alive throughout, especially the major cutscenes that take place. We did get a death. It just wasn't of a Scion as well.
Yeah, it was of Oblivion. Our good friend. Well,
Geode.
like
Yeah.
members of Oblivion have died, but an important member of Oblivion and that of Geode. Yeah.
In a very dramatic scene to boot.
Oh yeah.
A very horror-pilled one, too. They really like some of the horror-pilled stuff. You can tell somebody just played Resident Evil for, like, the first time on the dev team. And I'm okay with that. I actually really like, one of my favorite scenes of all MSQ is very horror-pilled. It's Tavleen or whatever, or what's her face in Shadowbringers, who when she transforms.
Yeah. Into the Sin Eater, yeah.
Yeah, when she turns into the Sin Eater. That's one of the Tesleen, there you go.
Tesleen, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the best scenes the MSQ has ever produced, and it's very horror-pilled. So I feel like they actually do very well when they are a little bit less bright and cheery. And I hope they continue that in the future whenever they want to make something with a lot more tension. Because especially the animations that they used for the creeping and crawling of the sentries when Geode gets attacked and the cutaway. I was like, yeah, whoever's in charge of that, let them keep cooking, because they make those scenes way better to watch. Even if you see it coming, the scene is much better to watch when that amount of effort is put into it. Yeah. Another big thing, quest variety. I think most people will have noticed.
Yes.
There was I'm not going to give them that much credit because it's not stellar, but I'd rather see it than not.
It's better. It's better. It's probably out of everything we had in Dawn Trail thus far, this has been the best. Again, I mean, comparing it to other expansions, yeah, it kind of pales in the comparison to some. But yeah, when it came to quest variety, not just having fetch quests go to point A, go to point B, and so on and so forth, we actually had a sort of escape room kind of scenario in the middle, and I like that. And yeah, it kind of shook things up a little bit because we needed that. We very much so needed that, and that was really, really fun. And like it breathed new life into doing MSQ for me.
Yeah, we have several examples of really standout missions in the past, and I think this one, it stands out for a very basic reason. It's not impressive because it's amazing. It's just nice that it's different and it's there. It's just not A to B coded.
Yeah.
I think some of the greatest quests we've had historically would probably be Indiana Jones in Shadowbringers.
Metal Gear.
Yeah, Metal Gear with Thancred is definitely another one. There's a couple of stealth missions, but the Thancred one definitely stands out.
Yeah, Thancred is, yeah.
Yeah, and then this one, there's also, I know a lot of people struggled with it, but the fight out of Garlemald when you're playing as the Garlean soldier is also a big standout for me in terms of quest variety. But a lot of people struggle with that. That was pretty frequently complained about. So you could definitely tell they don't want to go anywhere as crazy, and that's reflected here. These are puzzles you could stumble through without reading any of the hints very easily. It's made so that they kind of are directing you to do it, and if you want the whole experience, you do it. But that was fine because it's still not so linear of a thing, because the MSQ is really just normally go talk to a bunch of NPCs and then do the dungeon trial and you're done. So getting one quest that stands out in any given MSQ, really, you notice it a lot.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect puzzles that are harder than this, just because as much as I would like them. That's the big problem with this, is that it's like you want to commit to the puzzle and for the interesting quests for the MSQ, you're gonna have people mad that it's not harder, right? And you're gonna have people who think it's the hardest thing they've ever done somehow.
Yeah.
Which blows my mind.
I mean, what could they do? How could they make it even more like they couldn't. Whenever I think of something puzzle like in Final Fantasy, the immediate puzzle I go to is the Cloister Trials.
Yeah.
In Final Fantasy X. Yeah.
But that's the problem, is there's really no in between here. Like I had people in my chat asking me for the password to the keypad. Like, that took me 2 seconds to find. I literally said, look for a number, and then there's one thing that tells you the experiment number.
Three different numbers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's one thing that gives you 3 different numbers, which, to be fair, you can just punch in all 3 and then get it that way.
Yeah.
But there's also another thing that tells you, oh, on day 78, whatever, this is the password. And then it's like the log says that, like, I don't remember exactly what the text is. But the point is that it's like, it took me 2 seconds to figure out what it was. So the fact that there were people who just were so, like, not coded to do it still blows my mind. So doing those, it's such a weird space that they've trained people to be in, where people are so used to just walking forward that when they don't, it's really a toss-up about how people are going to feel about it. Yeah, 14 players can't read. I've learned that over the years, but I think they also won't read, so it's a little bit of both. And thus, yeah, it's just, I just want to see them feel comfortable doing more quests. I obviously don't want them to just be like, oh, this worked, now do an escape room every fucking patch. I don't want that.
Yeah.
But I want to see them at least try to make me do something.
Yeah, variety is what we're asking for, really.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that was the other complaint I saw, the can't skip cutscene trying to, rush the EX trial. I saw that one as well. People mad that they couldn't just skip the whole thing because it was taking too long to get them to the EX trial. Oh, God. You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of Omega. Everyone trying to do the world first race, but the instance breaking. So people, part of the world first race to get through normal mode was trying to get through the fucking instances. Which is why we don't have instances in the normal mode stories really anymore. It's because of Omega back in Stormblood causing issues. If you can't solve a simple number puzzle, how are you going to solve mechanics? They don't. They do the MSQ and they either stop playing or they go socialize. That's the point. Oh, no, you're talking about the people rushing to do EX stuff, yeah. Yeah, clearly we need to delay EX trials a week now, too, so people can do the normal quests.
No, please, God, no.
Fuck,
then we
dude,
really won't have shit to do. Yeah. Yeah, then we won't really have shit to do on day one. Yeah. Make people even madder.
Yeah, that would be bad. I can't wait to talk about the EX trial, by the way. There's something that I found there's something people are doing that it's one of the most brilliant things, and I fucking love it, as bad as it actually is that it can be done. But no, you're going to be entertained by it. It's if you don't know about it, you're going to be entertained by it. I think it's great. I think it's great that it's even possible.
Please don't tell me it. Please don't tell me it has to do with the fucking hands. Okay.
Oh no, trust me, you're gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be great.
Okay.
So, but no, yeah, the fact that there are a lot of standout moments for me in the MSQ. Another really big standout moment, our job choice finally mattered for something.
Yes, it did. Yeah, it was surprising to see that. Like, and people's like, hey, I did this when that happened, and I'm like, I did this, and like it was dependent on your job, basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like animation team went hard on this patch. Well, let's just say that animation team definitely went hard. They kind of took everything into consideration.
Yeah, it's no more of those. I'm a white mage, but I punch Xenos in the face to finish the fucking story. Yeah. Nothing like that. Like those like really weird like, or this person's dying. We really need a healer. There have been, I think Dawn Trail actually did have a quest where you being a healer had its own dialogue. I seem to recall at some point there was, maybe it wasn't Dawn Trail, it might have been an Endwalker, where there was a quest where actually you being a healer had a dialogue option. Stand back, I'll heal them, or something like that, at the very least. But yeah, no, that was really welcome. A lot of that final sequence I very much enjoyed as a whole, dealing with Necron and whatnot, which let me tell you, I wouldn't say I had a problem with how Necron was done, more so in that I've never laughed more at a character's decision than that moment. Because my man's like, my calculations could never fail, so I brought a primal with me. And you're like, bruh. You looked at me and went, yeah, a primal will do the job. You you clearly don't have enough data. You never had anywhere close to enough data. You didn't even.
Nope.
I don't even think you wrote anything down. This
Do you know who I am? That's the literal definition of. Do you know who I am?
It's funny because when he says, "Oh, the primal will keep coming back," everyone else kind of flinches, but you don't move. You're just like, well, then let's go again.
Yeah.
It just completely, your character's completely unfazed. As soon as he says, yeah, it'll keep coming back, you're like,
yep. Good old Captain America moment. I can do this all day.
Yeah. I brought all my friends with me. We're good. We will not have any issue with this at all. Yeah. So it was weird. Clearly it was more meant to tease what was coming later, because as soon as you hear the word summoning, you realize, oh, my predictions came true. That was my thing. I was like, yeah, my predictions are definitely coming true in this.
Yep.
Yeah. I will say this, by the way. So they obviously had to redesign Necron a little bit. Necron, for those who don't know, is the final boss of Final Fantasy IX, and he's regularly ridiculed as the dumbest fucking U-turn of a boss that's ever existed across Final Fantasy, because he's not prevalent in the story at all. He just shows up as the embodiment of death and goes, well, clearly you all want to die, so I'll kill you all. And you go, I'm not going to let that happen. And it's the end of the fucking game. So he's the biggest ass pull out of like any fucking Final Fantasy game that's ever existed, no matter how many fucking YouTube videos you watch about the justification of Necron existing. It's still not a particularly loved. He's got a cool theme, and he's an asshole to fight, but that's about it. Necron in Final Fantasy 14 unironically made more sense than in Final Fantasy 9. Yeah. But a couple of things. His wings actually have regulators in there in the design, which I really enjoyed, given the way that he's actually summoned. And he's a bit more digital in this sense as well. He's definitely got a digital edge to him to match the fact that it has everything to do with Solution 9 and the New Alexandria and all that. So I like the redesign. The theme is a bit questionable. The original theme is much more, PlayStation 1 era electronic. And I think that actually would have worked better here than with an orchestral version of the theme. I think something closer to Zeramis's, the way that Zeramis's theme was done, actually would have worked better here. So I'm not wild about the orchestral version. I'm glad they attempted it, but they had to slow it down way too much.
Yeah. So I'm guessing if you had the for 9 music, if you had to choose between this and Rosa May, like Rosa May probably had the better arrangement.
Yeah, the Roses of May was fantastic for the Zilenia fight. That was far better done. And it also made more sense there. But again, here I feel like they would have benefited from a Zeramis style, like kind of really fat. Because that's the thing, the tempo of the original song. It kind of reminds me, so Neo Exdeath had a similar problem because his theme is also slowed down to become orchestral. But that was it was just a better theme and I think better orchestrated theme overall, even for that version. So much so that it's very much equal to me. This one is, for me, a clear step down from the Final Fantasy IX version. And I just think going orchestral was not the right decision, or going the slower paced orchestral was the incorrect approach to handling Necron. So definitely not a favorite theme. Or just use the OG theme. The OG theme would have worked so perfectly because it's an electronic theme. So it was funny because Zeramis was kind of a toss up in the other direction, where it was way faster, and it was, again, it was so EDM coded that it was really weird, but the pacing of it still very much matched the original. And this is just way too slowed down. It's barely even recognizable as the Zeramis theme at times. Like, you have to really know the Zeramis theme very well to recognize it. So it just didn't work this time, in my opinion. Roses of May, definitely better. There was a lot of other good music here. I really enjoyed the more kind of like Calyx's creepy theme that we got last patch. I enjoyed, which returns here. And the background music during the horror sequence. Very well done as well. The ambiance of the horror sequence. So other wins, but not in this category, in my opinion. The dungeon theme also quite forgettable, I feel.
Theme, yes. Dungeon itself, no.
No, the dungeon bosses
probably
were really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I'd say this is probably the best dungeon so far in Dawn Trail.
I don't know if I agree with that. I'm still going to go with the Carnival,
personally. You go with which one?
The Carnival. I love the Carnival. I love the chaos. Every time. This one tried more new things that were fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I still don't feel like it was nearly as chaotic. So the first boss, I'll be honest, I've already completely forgotten. I know it was the scientist.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he was just standard. It didn't impact me.
It's standard fare. Yeah.
Yeah. Standard
fare.
Move on. Personally. The second boss. Yeah.
Like it.
Yeah,
You're
I
going
enjoy
nowhere.
But it's also I like the idea, but I kind of wish it wasn't 4 individual bosses being fought by 4 people having no interaction. I would have preferred if there was some interaction between the which ones. I think they probably would
kind of like you're saying, kind of like the beginning of Archangels, where everybody gets an Archangel to hit, basically, but you're still in one group.
No, I think that what you're doing in your circle affecting other people, for example, is something a little more what I mean. It's effectively you're all just dodging your own AoEs, and you basically never have to consider what any of your teammates are doing other than maybe rezzing them. In fact, I'm pretty sure this boss is the reason they changed the Phoenix Downs. I don't even think they did it for any other reason, because if you die here, and you can't reach the other people, the Phoenix, it's just kind of annoying, because the boss doesn't, if somebody dies, it just sits there waiting until...
Yeah, it just sits there, brandishing its axe. Yeah, he just pets its axe.
Yeah, he just doesn't do anything. And then if you res the person, then they have to continue fighting it, but otherwise...
They just get yanked back, yeah.
Yeah, so it's the ideas are just, for me, it's a little half-cocked. Is how I feel. It's it only considers the ideal circumstance of all 4 people just soloing their boss and kind of being done with it. Yeah, I just I don't know. Just it just feels half-cocked to me.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, I thought it was interesting. I thought it was more interesting than stuff we've had so far. I mean, just splitting us up, yeah. But I can see what you're saying, and that they could, do a little bit more, make it more interactive, I guess, between the 4 individuals. Yeah.
I'd rather one less AoE to dodge for myself and one more mechanic that actually in some way makes you feel like you're actually doing a group fight. That's it. I would have just I wouldn't even have added more things. I would have just exchanged one of the AoE dodges for something else.
It makes me think of what? I mean, it's not like it, but it's kind of similar in the fact that, what was it? I want to say Copied Factory, the one where you're on 3 different platforms, but you're fighting one boss. But you're dodging different AoEs. I forget which one it was. Yeah,
I would actually like that maybe more than splitting up. And if all 4 players got stuck in all 4 circles, but it was one boss, and all of you had your own circles with your own different attacks in them. Yeah. And then, I mean, yeah, sort of like that. But I was thinking more honestly, it'd be funny if the bosses could pull you into they could just change who they're attacking and pull you in or swap you with a party member. It'd be really funny if one of your party members just was going to eat shit from an AoE and then they pulled you in. It was during a mechanic where it swaps the 2 of you and just pulls you in. You just get fucking blasted.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if at the very least, I'd like the interactiveness of you getting pulled into a different one. I think if every different one of them had a different mechanic, and then it was also one mechanic that stood out, maybe one of them has a baited axe swing instead, or one of them has something else. And then they would randomly you'd all get swapped into a different one. So all like still like basic bitch like normal mode dungeon mechanics, but one different mechanic on each of them, and then it pulls you between to swap. So you have to swap what mechanic. That's what I mean by interactiveness. I don't want it to be harder.
Yeah.
I want it to feel like I somewhat maybe have to know something a little bit different about one of these bosses. So
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, it might be a little different per role. Someone in chat says they had to interrupt something as a tank. So maybe there is like a tank one, a healer one, and then 2 DPS ones. So there is that. But there's no interaction between them. Maybe the tank interrupting does have the interaction. I assume that would only affect the tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the healer gets a doom. So there is somewhat of a roll check. But that's still not even what I mean. That's still not interactive. That's just role dependent stuff. That's going to be the same every time. Or actually, let me rephrase. I suppose if the healer one could swap the DPS into it, and then the healer has to assume as somebody else, that kind of starts to fall into the category I'm looking at.
No, I've only done it twice, but I'm pretty sure someone can stop the burn.
That's like the tank. One of the I think that's the tank interruption.
Yeah.
Yeah. If the tank doesn't interrupt that, I'm pretty sure that's what that is.
Okay.
Yeah, I would just exchange one AoE for something that like forces you to go against a different ad at some point. That's it. Other than that, it's a good idea. I'm glad they're doing it. I'd rather see it than not see it. But I wasn't like enamored by it.
Yeah.
And
that's fair.
The last boss, was kind of cool. Last boss was like Zerimus Light in a sense.
Yeah, I'd say that.
I also you could say M6 Light as well, because it's the screens are a little bit like the canvases in a sense. Geneva Convention, the boss. Yeah, it was cool visually. But this is definitely far from my favorite dungeon of the patch. It was full of things that were visually pleasing and good ideas, but definitely wasn't as exciting. I think after Strayborough, it was always going to be hard, but I think I enjoyed the 7.1 and 7.2 dungeons more than Meso.
I will say Ue Iwata was probably, before this one, Ue Iwata was probably my favorite, just because of the aesthetic.
Yeah, Ue Iwata, again, captures the horror vibe, and I think also has some pretty good bosses in there as well.
Yeah.
I think that I'm not going to say it's my least favorite dungeon in Dawn Trail, because there's some of the leveling dungeons I definitely care for less. In terms of max level dungeons, it's definitely in the bottom, personally. Somewhere near the bottom. I don't actually know if it is in the bottom, though.
That's fair. I think it's one of my favorites. I'd say it's top 3 so far.
What are the other 2?
Of course, Ue Iwata and the one with the Great Serpent of Ronka.
That was the Tender Valley. Yeah, nothing topped the whole appearing. Yeah, dude, I love Alexandria. The worst single trash pull is still that fucking turtle, but that's the 99 dungeon.
Yeah, hands down.
That's definitely the absolute bottom of all of Dawn Trail's dungeons is that fucking turtle, which sucks because I love that dungeon's theme, but that dungeon is so underwhelming. Visually cool, but way worse. It's like Meso Terminal like -5 in terms of like interest, where it's like this could have been maybe good, but you screwed me too many times out of having fun. And then so Meso Terminal. So then we get into Necron. Necron is a fight they had a lot of creative freedom, because Necron doesn't. The only thing he does of note is really Grand Cross. Like that's what most people remember of him.
And I was so expecting like a bunch of debuff or ailment vomit, and we didn't get it. We just got lasers. Like, wait, where are my debuffs? Where are my ailments?
I'm not gonna lie, I was so relieved, because Grand Cross is. I have so many bad runs of Final Fantasy IX where I get Grand Cross, that's just game over.
Yep. And then Neutron Ring, and then done.
Yeah. It's funny because you can see some of the Occult Crescent ideas that show up here, especially Grand Cross with the rotating AoEs. I was like, dude, it's UAV2, but with the fucking rotating.
It's Lion Rampant.
It's not Lion Rampant. That's very different. The rotating AoEs are not at all like that. Oh no, yeah, no, you're right. I was thinking of what's it called? I was thinking of E12 for some reason.
Oh, okay.
When I was thinking of the lions,
yeah, lion rampant, yeah.
But Occult. in terms of of Occult Crescent, yeah, lion rampant. I see where you were going with that. It was a pretty fun normal mode. Normal modes have all been pretty good this expansion. At least first, they've been sufficient because a normal mode isn't really meant to be very much.
Right.
Definitely one I was kind of glad to have the AI with me a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, I did both the dungeon. The dungeon AI was more important. I think there were a few more bits that were slight. Like I think the first boss of Meso Terminal, the AI for the like blinking AoEs, like when he does both of them and he activates them one at a time. I was just like, there's a lot of visual vomit on the screen. It's just, and then the AIs were like, oh, it's just telling me the order of them actually going off. I was like, okay, that's fine. That's fine. But yeah, here it was also just it was pretty nice just to have them around, especially with all the hands and whatnot. Fun though, fun normal mode. The extreme, okay.
All right.
It's very Zodiac pilled for the most of it.
I kind of see where you're going with there, but explain a little bit further.
There's a lot of mechanics in this one that do not require anything resembling game knowledge to resolve. They are literally just dodge and you're pretty much good. There's dodge, a lot of just get out of the way.
Dodge bait. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that, you kind of could, if you just played the game, you kind of get like, oh, these are proximity. You kind of got that, like with that pull. Like, oh, these are tank swaps. You kind of got that with a pull. Like a lot of stuff was simple. Yeah.
And the light and there's the light and dark wings, just determining how much safe space you have. There's a lot of ways to resolve that. We did both tanks go dark, everyone else go light. I don't like that. Light.
Yep, that's what
I prefer support. Light Party 1 supports anchor west, Light Party 2 supports anchor east, and just the 4 DPS go to the other side. Then you have melees forward, ranged back. I prefer that.
Yeah.
Personally.
I mean, either way, you will still I guess you're giving one side more, you're giving both sides more space, honestly. But either way, you still have enough space on the DPS, on the non-tank side. Yeah.
Yeah, I like strats that anchor a roll and make only one roll move. I feel like there's a lot less pressure overall to do it right. You also limit the number of people who could do it wrong. When you only have 4 people moving versus 6. And then your healers can anchor near the center of the room, reach everyone really easily.
I mean, to be fair, it's easily YOLOable. And we kind of YOLO'd it.
A little bit. You just need to make sure you actually have 6 on the correct side, because if you have 5 and 3, somebody's dead.
As long as the tanks fuck off, we're fine. As long as no one goes to the tank side, we're fine.
Well, that's what I mean. It's I with the other strat, I see what you mean. Yeah. Because that's what we did day one. We did tanks on one side and everyone else on the other. It just made sense. But it was looking back, I would have done it differently. I enjoy there's the middle 40% of the fight is all very interesting for me.
So of course, Grand Cross, Neutron Ring, and then after Grand Cross is hands. Hands.
Yeah, it's not an amazing hand, but it's weird because it's 2 back-to-back ad phases. Weird. It's here are the ads, and then here's second ads,
individual ads. Yeah. So we haven't had, it's been a while since we've had a kind of personal responsibility thing. I want to say since
Phantom Train,
A12 out. Well, yeah, Doom Train. You're right, Doom Train. Yeah. I was going to say Doom Train and Alexander. Because you get put in the...
Alexander with the portals. I get what you mean. Yeah. And these are role specific. The tanks have a different thing to deal with. The healers, they get a different slowed. They just take a shit ton of damage.
DPS...
You should blast.
I don't even know because I kill them. Yeah, I just kill mine fast enough. But I will say, I've seen Bards say they have a hard time. I'm like, Why?
It's funny because when we did it, I got through fine, and then I saw some of the other DPS die to theirs the very first time we got there, and I was just like, "What the fuck happened to y'all?"
Yeah, I'm only died once is because I did a fucking jump while they were doing the
whoops,
AoE,
died to that once.
Yep. Yeah, I'm like, wait, the fuck?
I've heard some people debate about if you need to kill them at the same time or not. I was doing it
no
by
you
default, or at least closer. Like if you kill, like people were like, "Oh, the enrage seems like it's different every time." And this was day one. I haven't even paid attention since then. So
I want to say that the enrage, I forget the name now, but the enrage is based on HP, individual HP. So you could like take down a hand and then it'll start to cast enrage is what we thought.
Oh, I don't know. They just fucking died to me.
Yeah.
I didn't even.
Yeah, they just die. Yeah, I'm usually like one of the first ones back. I'm like, it's so lonely. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, I'm usually one of the first ones back as well. So, yeah, I just murdered them. The healers looked like they had the worst one by far.
Yeah.
They didn't look bad, but seeing the slow and knowing what that Asuna was going to look like for them, I realized after the fact, I should have just given one of them Wanderer's Peen before I go into that phase. That's as a bard, I didn't even think about it before. I didn't even know if it would last long enough. I don't remember how long into the hand phase they get slowed. But I realized after, I was like, I should have tried timing Peen right as we're getting absorbed by the darkness to see if it could counteract so it could make it easier on them. I might try that at some point, or someone should try that if they haven't at some point, to see if the bard timing allows that to save them in a Suna cast, which, would be nice given how bad the fucking slow is. So I don't know, just that just came to mind as a bard player. I really like whenever I have an opportunity to use that skill, I prefer to try to use it. So I'm pretty sure that within 30 seconds of applying it, it would save them from the slow.
Yeah.
But what's interesting, so after that, there's a couple of things. There's, the line AoE plus baited hands followed by, the left, right. I really like the memory mechanic where he shuffles the AoEs.
Yeah, champion circuit. We just call it champion circuit.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of that, followed by the light party. It's a good memory check mechanic to see if you remember. There's a couple of them throughout the fight that are there, and I definitely like the memory use, the ring, the visual for the whole thing. Probably one of the harder things. Some people are really not good. If you don't have someone typing in party chat, there's a lot of people who struggle with like remembering that. They just don't have like a good mental system for doing it. So yeah, there's that. But the big thing is Memento Mori 2. That's the big wall for most people. That is where there's a shit ton of towers. There's 2 4 towers, 4 2 towers, and 4 3 towers. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how you're supposed to solve that without tank LB. I haven't actually looked at the timing of the phase fast enough.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah.
For all the towers? Okay. So okay, the first two towers, light parties. Easy one. That's a gimme.
I don't even think that's the best way to do it. That's what we did. I actually don't think that's the best way to do it.
Really? Splitting up your light parties?
I think doing them last.
For the first two towers?
Yeah, I think doing them last.
Doing the first 4, the first ones, the 4 towers, the 4 ones in the middle?
Last. Yeah, I think they're doing those last is the best. When we talk about it, I'll tell you why. But no, that's what
okay.
We started with melee and tanks forward, range and healer back, and then we split into light parties left and right.
Yep.
Yeah. So you wait 5 seconds. You do the 2 towers next. That's what we did. We did the 2 towers next.
That's what we did too.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that either. What's weird is the timing for the tank buster. That's the main thing that starts to kind of throw a wrench into it.
Yeah.
And that's why the tank invuln being there makes it so easy. We did 4 2 3.
Yeah,
and then we had so we did it the only way.
It's basically dependent on who gets the tank buster first.
Yeah,
so
that's exactly what
right side. Yeah. So usually left side would get the tank buster first. That means right side could go to the top, get the top third, and then go all the way down, wait on their debuff, and then get to the edge of the bottom third when the right side tank buster went off. And Bob's your uncle.
Yeah. So what we did is the side with the tank buster did the back tower, the back 3 tower first, and then the front 3 tower second. And then the other side did it the other way. They did the 3 tower first in the front, and then the 3 tower in the back last. That's what we did. That was what we common sensed into. But one thing that the tank that's on the 3 tower, the first tank buster side, they said they were just popping their invuln to go into the tower to make sure it got resolved before. Now, I'm just telling you that's what they said they were doing, to do the 3 tower as quickly as possible. I don't know what the magic vuln timing is on the tank buster itself. But that's what they were doing. They were like, this makes it way better if I just invuln the buster and then invuln the tower right afterwards with the other 2 people. That's the only way I see to resolve it without that. But yeah, it's like 10 seconds. Yeah, see, that sounds way too long. That was the thing. That's why I saw some people going the 3 towers immediately next and then leaving the tanks out of towers after, or leaving 1 tank out of a tower at that point. That was the other thing I saw happening was doing that. But I don't know. I didn't tank it, so I'm only going off what I was told. But I liked one that I saw where it was you start in the 2 towers. Everyone detonates the 2 towers first. Detonate both the 3 towers with the tank. This is a tank invuln strat, mind you.
I see where this is going. I mean,
and then you've taken. But okay, so but this is why it requires an invuln for a very specific reason.
Okay.
The 2 towers, the 3 towers, then the second 3 towers. And then...
So you're pretty much leaving the 4 towers for last.
Yeah. And then what you do is that the tank who gets the tank buster, invulns runs through both of the 4 towers while the light parties are otherwise in them. That was the other thing I saw that I liked. Was just popping an invuln and just running through both towers as soon, because once the back 3 towers are done, you break into the 2 light parties for front and back, and then the tank that went first just invulns and runs through both of them. I liked that. I quite enjoyed that one.
Wow.
Apparently there's like 5 different ways of resolving. Someone was like, there's like 5 Memento Mori 2 strats, but we actually have a winner. We have the go-to strat.
Okay.
The gamer move. The actual undisputed best way to do it. No invulns required, Sly. You ready for this?
I'm listening.
On the mechanic before, everybody gets sent to the Shadow Realm.
I've heard this bullshit. It's so fucking stupid.
Everybody gets sent to the Shadow Realm.
It's so fucking stupid. I hate it. No.
Everybody gets sent to the Shadow Realm on purpose. You wait until your timer's about to expire when it's at 5 seconds left, and then you go to the Jesus beam to get teleported out, and then you skip the entire Memento Mori too.
Yeah, somebody static, I think it was Nay. Nay said, there's a strat where you just fucking wait and until your doom timer gets to like 5 or something, and then you go in and you don't have to fucking do it. I'm like, are you fucking serious?
I love when shit
it's
like
so
that's
fucking
possible.
Stupid.
I love when weird, crazy shit. Because here's the thing. I think a fight is most interesting when the solution is more open-ended, not when it's railroaded and there's only one way to solve it. So the fact that that's even possible is the kind of shit that I love. I know it invalidates the hardest mechanic in the fight.
It pretty much does. I mean, yeah, just basically if you're having a tough time with it, sure, go ahead. I'm not not your daddy. Like, go ahead, do it.
I just love that it's even possible. I love when ingenuity. It's very similar to me to how people ended up solving Zoral Jaw, where you don't like, because when we did Zoral Jaw day 1, we got into 2 light parties and took turns based on our timers exploding. But then you had the one where like the 2 tanks take their stacks solo up front, and then they just follow the line down as it like goes past each other person.
Uh-huh.
I love that because that was like that's such a good creative way to
I've never
resolve
seen
that
that one.
mechanic. Yeah.
Huh.
That was that I really enjoy when you go through what makes the most sense to you as a player, but you see the player who just doesn't think of it that way, and
You
they
love the
figure out a
devs
way.
giving you that option. You love the devs
I
giving you
love
that
that that's even
option.
possible. I love doing a fight the way
Yeah.
that makes sense to me day one and seeing somebody figure something like that out afterwards.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather see the player ingenuity that goes into that than see it be impossible. Personally,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's good for the health of the fight. It makes it really lame if it becomes the standard after when everyone else. Like one thing
Yeah.
I don't like is Zoral Jaw. Everyone stand in the death wall that doesn't kill you and heal through it to skip the conga line, which was a thing that they had to patch as well. I don't know if anyone remembers that, but you could just stand in
I
the
don't.
you stood in the bleed in the wall, but the
Mm-hmm.
line doesn't pass through the whole arena. It passes through. It stops short
How
of the
strong
end.
was the bleed? I'm trying to
Not
remember how
strong
strong the
enough.
bleed was. Fuck.
Not strong enough to kill you. Yeah. So and then your buff would just wear off. The debuff would wear off, but it doesn't explode when it wears off. It just goes away. So yeah, they patched that, like, but still, that's not cool. I don't care. I don't like when that kind of stuff is doable.
That's fair.
But stuff like using the mechanic before Memento Mori 2 to skip Memento Mori 2, which technically is that's a minute off the fight. Like if your DPS is bad, you can't pull that off. Like if you have like a kind of mediocre group, you actually can't like do it.
I mean, to be fair, you like one, you are losing as a melee, you are losing some form of uptime by doing towers. Yes. But yeah, by not doing the entire thing, yeah, you're losing a ton.
You lose a whole minute off the fight.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Don't get me wrong, the DPS check for any sort of well-functioning player or group, you can easily spare that minute. It's not
so
hard.
This is going I'm guessing you're going under the assumption that people are bis to even try to do that.
I'd say maybe not bis, but at the very least, they are adequately playing the game.
Yeah,
which in the PF is not fair. It's not a fair assumption to assume people are adequately playing the game in the PF.
Nope.
Yeah. But no, I'd rather those things be possible than not. There are things that the devs really need to figure out about their balancing. I think at this point, while there were none specifically from this patch, stack markers being survivable when they're stacked on top of each other probably needs to stop. That's happened many times this expansion. That is not ingenuity. That is clearly wrong. Or like not having a magic vault on Honey Bee was a big one for the stacking strap. And then there's a couple, I think Fru has one, not to mention Top had one as well. Fru and Top both have that. So yeah, that needs to stop. It's funny because there's actually a stack. The stacks in the 24-man and in 7.2 at Howling Blade. When he climbs in the ring and does that attack. Those are fucking scary. The Camelot one we'll talk about later is actually fairly frightening if people are dead already.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're right. Holy shit.
Yeah. But I think but going back to Necron, I think he's weaker than some of the other EXs. He's not in the top, but he's okay. He's not bad. He's only okay.
So in comparison to, let's see, Burb, Zeralja, Zelenia.
Yeah. Queen Eternal.
I would agree. Zelenia is probably the...
And Queen Eternal.
Oh. I'd say Zelenia is probably the strongest.
I'm a little torn
between Zelenia and Queen Eternal.
Yeah, between Zelenia and Queen Eternal. Queen Eternal, I know that people were disappointed we didn't have the wipeout wall. I know that was definitely a disappointment, but it was still super well done. Overall,
I fucking hated Queen Eternal because
the ice.
It was one of those.
Just say the ice. Just say it's because of the ice.
It's not even the ice. It's not even the ice. It is. No, it's not even the ice. It's because everybody had a different way to do fucking meteors.
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know why there was. I mean,
yeah, everybody had like 10 different ways to do that, and yeah, every party you went into did it differently.
Dick
and I fucking hated that shit. Yeah.
Don't do Dick Strat. Dick Strat was not good. But yeah, no, not to mention there was also there was a funnier way of doing it. That was I think it was all 8 people on one platform just using the rocks that way. Like, because you didn't need, like, you could just, I'm pretty sure that was one where you just put everyone on one platform with the rocks and then just did it all together.
I've never seen that one. I've never heard of that one. No.
There was one that was like, it was a lot less movement involved for like most people. I don't remember exactly what it was, but yeah, but no, Dick Strat was not good. Dick Strat would make you walk over the gravity changer if you weren't careful. Not a good idea.
Yeah.
Not a great idea. Not to mention, if you think about it, the L Strat, if you put them on the inside, it's just like a dick with a space in between. Yeah. So it's kind of still a Dick Strat. Yeah, and Zelenia had a similar problem with a lot of different raid plays. Here's the thing. I like when there's lots of ways to solve it. I just don't like that people are... I've said this before, and I'll say it again. My biggest problem with the Party Finder is not the strats. It's the inability for people to do more than the one strat they learned. People don't learn how to play the game. They just learn how to do the fight. I'm sorry. They don't learn how to do the fight. They just learn how to do the guide. Is my only problem. And it's good design to have a lot of solutions. And I don't know if people agree with that or not.
It is. And I don't agree with that. Okay, it's good design to have a certain number of solutions. Too many, and it starts to get fucking out of hand. When you have 10 different fucking solutions to the same fucking mechanic, I mean, I could at least take 5. 4 to 5. 4 to 5. Anything beyond that, it's way too much. Like, we do it this way. How the hell, like, one, how the hell did you even come up with that? And 2, I remember 5. I remembered 5. Pretty much like 2, it's probably going to be like 2 North American ones, 2 EU ones, and then 1 weird JP strat. Anything beyond that is fucking... Some JP strats are fucking stupid. I fucking hate some of them. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I hate some of the fucking JP strats. I'm like, I mean, yeah, I get it, but this is fucking stupid, man. EU's better than this.
Yeah. It's just rough.
Yeah.
PF is rough. That's all that it really comes down to. PF is rough. But this is fun. Not my favorite, but I think I like it better than Zoral Jaw.
Oh, yeah. Burb was fun. I mean, Burb was fun for what it was. It was the first one, and it was fun. It had some real, like, at the time, it was like, oh, wow, this shit is actually pretty unique. And then we get other EXs, and it kind of outshines. It kind of, like, really outshines Burb.
Yeah, I think this one's smack dab in the middle.
Yeah.
Zoral Jaw is my lowest, but I don't even dislike it. I just don't like it as much as the other 4.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then it would be Bird, Necron, Zelenia, and then Queen Eternal. So, yeah, I really enjoyed Queen Eternal. I think it was very redeeming after Endsinger to get a good Queen Eternal. I was very afraid after Endsinger that we were gonna get a not so good Queen Eternal extreme.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this was good. But that strat. I love that strat. I love this stuff.
So fucking stupid.
Now, before we go on to talking about the Final Fantasy 11 raid, the big thing in the room that we alluded to earlier is Asians. I called it. I've been calling it.
We've known.
We've known. Do you not remember Yoshi P telling us to remember the unaccounted for Asians before we got into Dawn?
Like, we've had this conversation plenty of times. We've kind of like gone over like who haven't we seen yet in terms of everything. If and the thing is, if you don't know, go back to the if you don't know the names of all the Asians, they're pretty much synonymous with the Final Fantasy 12
Scions of Light.
What am I thinking of? Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, all the names are pretty much basically the Scions of Light. So if you don't know, cross off like everything we've heard, every name you've heard off of that list, and now you have your remainings.
Yeah, we've been talking about Pastorat a lot because there are a lot of symbols that are very coincidentally very similar to Pastorat's symbol in particular. So they've been at the forefront of most ASEAN-related predictions and discussions in the past as one of the founders of the preservation, or at least the mastermind behind it, because it's very obvious that everything that's a result of something that's happened in the past is probably ASEAN-related in some capacity. We know that the Ninth had the whole storm surge because of the ASEANs. Like, it was a failed rejoining in a sense. I mean, not in a sense, it was a failed rejoining.
Now, one quick sidebar. Didn't the summoning circle look a lot reminiscent to a ASEAN mask?
Wait, what looks like an ASEAN mask?
The summoning circle for Necron.
I didn't pay enough attention to it.
It didn't look too Alexandrian or too technical. It just looked
it was obvious. I mean, they learned it from the ASEANs, so like, yeah, obviously it's that's it. It's what's it called? But no. The big thing that people have noticed forever is Fiend's headband. It's the crown.
The tiara.
The tiara had Pastorat symbol in it. We also were really curious about the crystal because the crystal very clearly resonates with Azim's magic. So there's been convocation / Ashen related theories since 7.0. So seeing one is not really that surprising. I was surprised Calyx survived. I thought they were going to oust him pretty quickly. So him surviving and he's very angry now. He's very angry.
This is the first time we ever seen any emotion out of Calyx, and I'm glad, because again, I was getting so fucking tired of him because he was just one-dimensional. He was just a boring science geek, and now he's actually showing emotion. He's mad. He lost. Good. Yeah. Be mad.
There's actually one major story point that I think we really, that 1.0 players are really looking at here. And as Chad has already brought it up, because of Alexander especially, there's one particular thing that everyone who played 1.0 has been wondering about for ages. Chat, would you like to do the honors for me? For the name? I mean, people have already started bringing it up in things with the Enigma Codex, in things with I can't remember the name of the horn from Alexander. I did a video on it, but I can't remember the name of the horn. The one that draws in ether pretty much infinitely. Fuck. But for those who don't know, back in 1.0, ASEANs were not like a super normal thing right away. Really, they were once the team had been moved over to be under Yoshi P. And one of the major kind of unanswered questions from 1.0 is there's an ASEAN who we deal with in a handful of quests. And we don't know which ASEAN, we never known which ASEAN it is definitively. But
do you know if they're male or female?
I think the body they use is male, but that's not a gimme automatically about what they are. body wise. So also it's a 1.0 model for the Asians. So I'm sorry, the 1.0 model for the character. So again, we really don't know. Yeah, the Shadow Elezen guy. And he's the one who gives the horn. He's part of the reason Alexander can exist. He's behind Alexander. It's never seemed like that character has ever given a flying fuck about rejoinings, because everything he's ever done has been almost like so much. It's been so bad that it almost felt like he was what's his face. He was Hermes. A lot of people were definitely co-signed to believing he was Hermes.
Okay. Do you remember when we did our one shot with Ethis? Shout out to Ethis, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes. Was this the Asian he was?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, this was the Asian he was alluding to. Okay.
Yes. Because again, we don't know their name. The Horn of Siege Rock, is that what it was called? Here, let me double check while I have it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, because they're part of the quest. Let's see. Horn. I guess I don't really know what to Google for that. But yeah. There's a character from 1.0 that has regularly been doing things that would not cause rejoinings. They would wipe out they would wipe out the source. Like, it literally wouldn't even be possible to do a rejoining. So it is the Horn of Siege Rock. It was on the Alexander. Okay, good. Yeah, so the Horn of Siege Rock. We don't know who that is. We don't know which Asian that is. We've never had confirmation who that is. And them being part of another organization that is not working in any way with any of that is very much in the realm of prediction and possibility from years past, just because it's an unanswered question. I honestly, I guess I'll stick to saying Travanchet. Yes, Travanchet is the name of the Elezen. That is the character's name. I wouldn't be surprised if that. I'll just stick in saying that's Pastorat. Pastorat was Travanchet. That's what I'm gonna go for. But I wouldn't be surprised if this is actually going all the way back to that 1.0 lore with Travanchet and the Horn of the Siege Rock, or whatever else they've been working towards this entire time. They just see, especially because they seem to just know about these like crazy strong relics, like the Horn, the Enigma Codex, like all of these things are, and not to mention, chat said that they did a texture update for the Enigma Codex, and it looks a lot more like Electrope now to boot. And honestly, with what it's used for, not that surprising in all honesty, if you think about it.
I mean, when it boils down to it, like, yes, they know all about these relics. Could the Asians had a hand in creating these relics? I mean,
almost certainly they're pieces of things from Amarot. I don't remember enough about Amarot to know if they had like these crazy strong concepts in museum. That's enough. Chad even brought that up. Calyx creates a concept for Necron. It's not based on what the believers think he looks like. He creates a concept. That is a very much, unsundered idea. Yeah, that's something that goes way, way back. So there's a lot of little words and hints that like lead to beliefs that go back to some really old unanswered lore questions. So I'm very curious. Yeah, I think there's one other than Halmarat and Pastorat. I think there is one other Asian. I think there's an Asian that we don't know if they're dead or alive, but Halmarat and Pastorat.
Amaraloth?
Maybe that sounds right. Amaraloth sounds right to me.
Amaraloth, it probably is.
Yeah. So, there's a little bit on the, and we were told to pay attention to that. So this really wasn't that big of a surprise if you've been paying a lot of attention over the years, but I understand not really wanting to see Asians. At the same time, like, even if they're not Zodiac Hydaelyn pilled, I totally get being like, bruh, not a fucking Gen. Not a fucking Gen. There's no fucking way.
Oh yeah, Dudalaphon. Yeah, I forgot about Dudalaphon.
Dudalaphon, okay. Okay. Yeah, so I think we need to really go back and revisit that. But no, there's a lot of lore precedents to think that this might be whoever was in possession of Travanchet's body. And then there's the question of who are the Winterers? I don't think there's any reasonable way to try to like context that. I think it's just a name for us, and that we should know winter is coming.
Winterers. Can't be Winterers. I don't think I can refer to a location either. So I was thinking maybe, like in the back of my head, I was thinking maybe like, Winterers.
No, I consider it like the Talaferoi. Like it doesn't fucking mean anything, right? Like Talaferoi was pointless. They just needed a rogue faction. So I maybe it'll be more, but like in my head right now, the name means nothing, and it's Talaferoi. It's just a Talaferoi scenario. Most people here probably don't even remember the Talaferoi.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even kidding. A lot of you probably don't even remember what the Talaferoi are. And I don't blame you, because it was like, it meant nothing.
It was so unused. Like, yeah, Asi and Asahi said it, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, pretty much. That was it. They were a faction of the Empire. They were just fucking Fandaniel people who worked under Fandaniel. That was it. Like that was it. But anyway, yeah, it's I'm excited to see. No matter what though, I'm gonna take a different hint that all of y'all should have been paying close attention to.
Okay.
Aaronville's going on adventures. He's going to be with us for a while. Because now he's off to ship himself off to a faraway part of the world. Sly, what faraway part of the world have we been waiting for a pretty fucking long time?
Mrhappy?
Yeah. That motherfucker is going to Mrhappy, and you cannot change my mind. There ain't no shot.
I still don't I still don't think we go there for a while.
No,
I honestly don't think it's
there.
Yeah.
It's got to be next, Sly. They can't fucking Sly. We brought another.
They've delayed it so much. It was supposed to be now. It was supposed to be 7.0. Hell, if we went to Mrhappy, I think a lot of people thought 7.0 would be better.
Sly, here's the thing. This was the new A Realm Reborn, right? So that's just the next Heaven's Word. We go to the dragons next. That's just logical.
Oh boy.
That's how it has to be. Like I don't know what to tell you.
We're repeating the cycle again. We're repeating the cycle.
We had A Realm Reborn 2.0. Now we have Heaven's Word 2.0. It's just what needs to happen, you know? And they're the Winterers, cold. Ishgard's cold.
We don't know if Mrhappy is cold though. I mean,
it's fucking down there, maybe. Who knows? I don't know where the sun is technically.
Isn't Mrhappy technically Australia?
Yeah, but like there's probably some parts of Australia that are cold somewhere. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Antarctica. We've been wrong the whole time. Who knows? There's penguins. Yeah. There's some fucking penguins down there.
Yeah.
We've also been told, don't forget that we have been told that they may technically take us to places like Hingashi again, because we still have a whole portion of Hingashi that's literally never stepped foot on it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a lot of geography that's still uncovered, but yeah, we'll see. All right. Okay, so that's MSQ. I'm excited going forward. Then we get to the Final Fantasy XI raid. Sandoria, the second walk, and the story. A lot of references to catch. I had to double down and really. I haven't even checked them all yet. I haven't found Prish and Alzal walking around. I haven't been looking, but I haven't found them walking around. They are in Yaktaral, so Shaloni should have a spot. They should be all around Solution. I don't know if they're in Solution 9, but they should be around Heritage Found as well. And there's also new dialogue that I didn't check from in Juno. They said there were changes in Juno that I haven't checked out either. But overall, I thought this was about on par with the first one. Didn't think it was better
in
or worse.
terms of
Across the board.
everything. So gameplay, story.
Top to bottom, it's almost equivalent to me. I think there's only one part that I'd say is arguably a worse comparison, and that's very specifically the first boss. And I would honestly, I'd say the lowest point is the first boss, and and it doesn't have a point that's as high as the archangels. So maybe I guess a little bit worse, but like so barely that I don't really care, in a sense. Maybe that's like the best way I could think to put it.
You weren't a big fan of Kieran, really?
Kieran. So here's the problem with Kieran. Kieran in Final Fantasy XI is literally not known for anything except summoning the other gods and earth magic. He doesn't really do anything else. So they tried to double down on the earth magic here with the giant hands, which is not something he does in 11. Where they probably should have just doubled down on the summoning the gods instead.
Yeah, because on average, you only get one if you're doing terrible, maybe two.
Regular ass PFs make Kieran better. I'm sorry, regular ass duty finders with strangers make Kieran better. No doubt about that. You're far more likely to see a second god. But I think thematically they should have stuck more with summoning. Like I don't hate it.
You should have. You think they should have had all of them? You think they should have had all the lords in the fight instead of just sequestering down to one or two? Is that what you're saying?
I think that honestly they probably could have just given him a tank buster that was Stone 5, a magic, a raid wide that was Stone Gafor, which it is. That is his raid wide here. And they probably just made him summon. And then, I think actually a few of the Manticore-esque bits too. So the other thing is that he spams Manticore skills. He'll do like Great Sandstorm followed by Great Whirlwind. He'll spam Deadly Hold back to back a few times. He'll do Heat Breath. Like that is reflected here. He has Heat Breath. He has the tail swipe. He has Deadly Hold. He just does it during the giant hand phases. And all the Manticore stuff is pretty much represented. But I really think the only major identifying factor that most people would really classify him under is summoning the other gods. And so they probably could have at least made sure he summoned 2, guaranteed. Whereas 2 is kind of a fever dream, realistically.
Yeah.
So that's the misstep, I think. One thing I will say is it's kind of nice that every time I do it, I just kind of get to gamble with my chat on channel points of which god it's going to be.
Which kind of be, yeah.
I've gotten Suzaku twice. That's,
I've gotten Suzaku and Genbu.
I've never seen Genbu. Only reason
we
I've
barely,
seen Seiryu,
we barely got Genbu at that. Like he just showed up and he died and Kieran died.
Okay.
So I didn't even get to see what Genbu does.
Okay, yeah, because I've only gotten Suzaku in my runs, and I saw Seiryu on the live stream. So I haven't technically gotten anything other than Suzaku. But yeah, no, it's definitely like a pre-made is gonna roll through this. But so the most fun is definitely to be had in the duty fight. That makes the Kieran fight better, the duty finder. You get funnier things like a tank that doesn't understand that Alzal does one of the towers for Deadly Hold. And you're just looking at the last tower like, guys, we really need someone inside that.
Tower.
And then, but no, the references across the border. I had to go through. There was one reference. I really don't know what they're trying to accomplish with it because there's nothing that it distinctly states. It's the memo in Ronflower where it says that there's rumors of a giant creature that is like, there are some stories that say like adventurers descend upon it and eliminate it. There's some that say it doesn't exist at all, but the warning sounds more jovial than cautionary. The only monster that even remotely makes sense is Ritra. And that's not in Ronflower. That's it. King Ramper's tomb is in Ronflower, but it's in the deepest section, tucked underground in like a level 75 air. That doesn't make any sense. And it's also not jovial in any capacity. No one has anything jovial to say about that motherfucker. But it's like, that doesn't make any sense for this. Like, it's the only thing that makes sense, and it makes literally no sense. There are other things it could be, that where it's like there are seasonal events where there's like buffaloes or armors walking around and like they are pretty notorious, but those are not just in Ronfar either. Honestly, I ended up just determining that it was a play on misinformation during like the old era of information sharing. You know what I mean? Where it's like someone would say some shit and everyone really, they just kind of, it would like circulate even though it was baseless.
So they're breaking the fourth wall essentially.
Yeah, because Final Fantasy XI was notorious for that, was for massive bits of misinformation circulating as fact. I mean, the crafting system as a whole is one giant scam that everyone believed for 2 decades.
Oh, you have to face a certain direction on a certain day to get a certain bonus. And I've heard.
Yeah, that's a scam. The developer said, if it makes you feel better, you can do that. Yeah, like but that's not it. There's been all sorts of things. So it's either Vritra or a play on mass misinformation and just like stories circulating between like players of things that they had seen or that they claim happened or whatever. So I don't know which it is, but those are the only 2 things that make sense. But there's some really interesting little tidbits flung in there. So first of all, how much of this did you even know? I guess I'll start with that.
Well, I knew about Kieran. I haven't done Kieran yet. I knew about Omega and Ultima. I haven't done that yet.
Okay.
Of course, I knew about Camelot and Eldmarsh.
Yeah.
So those were obvious because Zalart was like one of the first ones. So yeah.
Yeah, they really represent that. Xylart and Chains is generally, well, depends on who you ask. Chains or Treasures would generally pick it. I think the game's highest population was during Treasures of Otter Gone. But I think, well, it's because it was way more accessible compared to Chains.
Yeah.
Like Treasures made leveling faster. There were more leveling. There was a lot better leveling spots. There was a lot more short form content in Treasures as well. Like you didn't have to you could log in and figure out something to do and not like need to schedule it in a calendar. So Treasures did a lot of good for people. Oh yeah, and Treasures was after the Xbox 360 launch, so they had a bit of a bump in population as well. But Chains, Xylart and Chains are really what most consider kind of the golden era of Final Fantasy 11. So Aelnarsh and Cam were both pretty much shoo-ins. There was no way they were going to do one without the other. Kieran was a big surprise. Kieran is the game's first ever pinnacle boss, but I never really considered him. I just didn't think he was going to be one of the ones they pulled in. It just didn't like cross my mind, if that makes sense. And Omega Ultima, I was mad at myself for not considering. So Kieran, I'll give everyone a bit of history. Kieran's the game's first pinnacle boss, as they're called, in that you have to go through a series of bosses to get to him. And he's the final boss of like this entire gauntlet of bosses. It was in Sky, which is where you fight archangels in the first one. It's where you technically go for the Aelnarsh fight as well, and the Shrine of Mrhappy. But you'd have to like fight 2 bosses to then get spawn items for one of the 4 gods, then kill one of those 4 gods, and then have 1/4 of the spawn items. So you had to do 8 mini bosses, the 4 gods, and then Kieran. So that's why it's a pinnacle, because he's at the like top of this like pyramid of bosses. And yeah, he used to take like, people used to kite him around for hours. Like literally, as a monk, I would boost. Boost would just like raise your attack temporarily. You boost 11 times. The party invites you after you've boosted like the 10th time. After you do the 11th boost, you chi blast him for like 1,000 damage. And then they kick you out of the party until your chi blast is ready again to get somebody else. Like that's the kind of shit you did for him. You had to like rotate people in and out depending on whether they were dead, weakened, like buffs. Like there was all sorts. But he was a real ordeal. It would take like an hour to even get to him for some people, because it was RNG if you could even get to his room. Sly. Speaking of massive misinformation. So Kieran's room to enter, which is not where it is here. This is Horley's Peak. Completely. You know that. You've seen Horley's Peak. Yeah, you've been there for missions.
Yes.
to get to him, you have to step on a teleporter. And the teleporter will either take you to Kieran's room or some other fucking room. And if you get the other room, you got to walk all the way back around to try for Kieran again. There are reports of people trying that over 50 times without being sent into his room. Because of that, there were rumors that you needed to step on the teleporter at like the top of the hour, or it had to be an even number minute Vanadil time, or it was easier to do on Earth's day because he was Earth Elemental. It does all this fucking, and it's nonsense. None of it meant, it was all garbage. None of it meant anything. But that's kind of like the misinformation, like wheelhouse that I'm referring to in that regard. So, yeah, it was, you had to calendar that out. That was rough. Sky was a big calendar activity. Omega and Ultima, the hardest of all the Chains of Promethea missions, mission 6-4.
One to be feared.
One to be feared, which they used as the titles for Omega and Ultima. Yeah,
the one and the feared. I saw that. That was cute.
It took me a while to remember cute. That was the name. I was like, the one and the feared. Why is that? Are those the titles you get from beating them? And no, they aren't. They're the title of the mission. Yeah. Yeah, by far, there are a lot of pretty difficult Chains of Promethea missions. They're all level capped. There's only one other COP mission that they could have used here, and I actually was hoping they would use it in the next one. I didn't want to see much COP here other than maybe one boss, because Archangels were Xylart, so we got one Xylart boss. Technically, Fafnir Xylart boss also, but not really in the same way, like not really associated with it. And that's the very first missions, which are Prometheans. They're basically level 30 areas. You climb to the top, and then you fight like a boss. The bosses themselves are stupid. They're like a fucking long-legged spider. You know the fat like quadrupeds on the moon that look like they're covered in moss? Do you know what I'm referring to? I don't know how else to describe it. You did Promethean.
You did those.
You've done Promethean. It's the first Chains of Promethea. Thinkers are what they're called. Yeah. But yeah, if you look up Thinkers, Final Fantasy 11, there's like, that's one of them. You might even just remember all the bosses upon saying the Promethean bosses. At level,
yeah.
There's also an S rank. Yeah, there's an S rank on the moon that also is that. Those are from Promethean. And there's a mission where you fight all three. You fight all three at once. That was one I think I was like, that one would make sense. And that one I was expecting in the last raid. That was one of my final raid predictions before, even, because I thought we were going to get the Promethean. I thought we were going to start in Tabnasia and then like maybe go into Promethean, or like, I don't know. I just think if they're going to do Promethean, it was going to be in the third raid. But other than that, I'm not going to lie. There's not very many memorable. Like, there are memorable, but they're not memorable in the way that, like, I want them to be a boss fight memorable. Like, a lot of it is just difficult areas to get through, like true sight enemies, or, you know, you're a low level, or, like, you need items to progress it. But the bosses aren't really that standoutish, other than Omega Ultima and arguably the Promethean bosses. Like, there are, but Omega Ultima were a big fucking problem back in the day. big fucking problem.
Because you fought Omega first, and then you fought Ultima, correct?
You actually fought mammoths. The detectors being on the airship didn't make any sense. Detectors are from Sky. They're not from here. So they probably just should have made the mammoths trash mobs instead, because that would have been fitting. But yeah, you fought Omega, then Ultima. Here they're at the same time.
Yep.
What's interesting is Ultima's moveset here is not anything like Ultima's moveset in 11. There's like maybe 3 attacks that he has in 11. That's antimatter. I don't know the name of the attack when he's destroying the airship, so that one might be a reference too. I've never been hit by it. But it's like chemical bomb, antimatter, and mana screen isn't even one of his skills. He has a particle shield in 11, but it's not a mana screen. And the energy orb, I mean, his auto attacks were kind of like, no, not even that. I don't know. Yeah, he didn't really have. Omega had a few. Omega actually had more referential skills. I felt like he was maybe better represented. But still a really fun fight. I enjoyed that here and the chaoticness of it.
Oh yeah.
Camelot, they killed it. They did such a great job with Camelot.
Camelot was so fun.
Yeah. Great fight for a 24-man to boot, like as a whole. But also, he is not very interesting in 11. He has a bunch of elemental attacks, and that's kind of it. That's like his whole spiel, is he just changes the element of his sword.
Yep. And they kind of kept true with that in his mechanics here, where you just had to pay attention to his elements.
Yeah. That was kind of it. Like, he did have like great wheel. He has here's a point blank AoE. That's kind of all it is in 11 too. And Lightblade was a tank buster there, and here it's its own mechanic kind of. It just summons a bunch of light blades. No problem with that. But they take some good liberties here, and they do use Lightblade in a couple of interesting ways throughout the whole fight. They use more of the Stellar Fulcrum's room, which is nice because you don't fight on those platforms in 11 as well. And yeah, they have the knockback tank buster. They have the changing death wall locations. He hits pretty hard. The fucking stack marker hits so hard. If you take that with like 9-10 people, there's a good chance that some of them are fucking dying. Yeah, he's definitely the best fight out of all four, and very well represents Camelot.
Honestly, okay.
I think he's
honestly. I thought Eldmarsh was the funner fight.
I think Eldmarsh, I'll give you this, from 11 to 14, they had a way harder, like they were going to have a way harder time. Camelot had a clear theme of what they were going to do.
Yeah. Agreed.
I think they had to take creative liberties with Eldmarsh to even make him an interesting fight. And they did a pretty good job. I actually think that using the exoplates, which is what those flying things are called. I know they look like cards, but they're called exoplates.
Yeah.
I felt like they did a pretty good job of adapting those into a fight for him. There's a couple of really funny parts of that fight. He does also hit you with just really hard-hitting magic. He warps and sleepgas in 11 as well. He does do that whole thing where he warps away and sleeps your team. So no, yeah, they did. I thought like they definitely represented them well. And I do feel that Camelot and Eldmarsh both represent peak 11. Eldmarsh is a little weird. So Camelot people had to do to unlock Sky. You didn't have to do Eldmarsh for years. There are a lot of people who like left him unfinished for quite some time.
Wow.
Because it wasn't until after Chains of Promethea where you needed to beat him to do Apocalypse Nigh. And Apocalypse Nigh is where you fought Camelot and Eldmarsh together. So it's kind of in a weird spot because he makes a big impression on you before you ever fight him. But most people just waited years before fighting him. Like, people would fight the Archangels for Divine Might because they wanted the earring. But Eldmarsh was just for story completion. So you only really did him if you really wanted to complete the story. But he's still so present in the cutscenes leading up to that he's fairly impressionable. Like, he's part of the initial scene with the Shadow Lord. He's part of the betrayal of Camelot and the activation of Delkfoot Tower. He's the mastermind at the end of it all. So he's impressionable, but his fight was less impressionable. But still an important part of 11's history and lore, without a shadow of a doubt. So glad to see them give the brothers actually a lot of respect. They did a really good job. I think these were better. If I'm thinking of comparing it to the Shadow Lord, they just made up a bunch of nonsense. Here, they thematically made up a bunch of nonsense. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. But Shadow Lord was literally only known for like two things. And they actually took the third thing from Wings of the Goddess. The armor that he puts on is from the Wings of the Goddess expansion. Which I was shocked that they did, but I was glad that they did it. Here, they very much were like, oh, this is how 11 probably would have done these fights if it wasn't 11.
You mean if they had more resources?
No, I don't know if that's it. No, because 11 isn't built to do things like
I
that.
mean, I understand that. Like, let's say 11. Let's say 11 existed in our current age, not when it first came out, but our current age, the age of 14. If it had the, you know, dev wise, game wise, if it had the resources 14 does, could they have done more?
It's hard to say because it's a PS2 dev kit. Like, no matter what you boil it down to, it's a PS2 game. Like, people are like, oh, it's on PC.
Right.
No, they literally still develop it using PS2 dev kits. Like, they have virtual machines that they've replicated like PS2 to make sure, because they ran out. They're like, we have to like black market buy these fucking PS2 dev kits. Like, we need a better solution. So yeah, no, I don't. It's hard to say. They've done a lot, but like their more modern stuff, it's actually pretty impressive what they've managed to pull out of recent encounters. But yeah, it's impressive and infuriating at the same time because they're more sadistic now than they ever were back in the day. If you think they were sadistic back in the day, you haven't even remotely seen how bad it can be in terms of them grabbing you by the balls and twisting them 1,000 times. Without turning back the other way, like 1,000 times in one direction, just so I'm being as clear as possible. Anyway. Some other references: Poison Hand Ganadbad, Jujutsu Gi NM. There's reference to the Moat Carp quest where you need to fish up 10,000 Moat Carp for the Lushang's fishing rod. That is what the first memo is referring to, the competition between the brothers. There's 2 quests you can accept. You just basically pick a brother to side with, and you fish up 10,000 Moat Carp. And then you get the ultimate fishing rod. And that fishing rod unlocks big fish that you need for another quest. So, yeah. Hell of a time. Jagged Ear Jack, probably the most notorious boss in Ron Fowler, so that was a good choice. The detectors were still weird. They're from, again, they're mobs from Sky, but I mean, it makes sense. Camelot and Aelnarsh are from Sky. The detectors are from Sky. And that entire airship situation is actually a Xylardian thing anyway. I don't want to get into Amaranthan Society. That's a whole thing. And then Kufim Island, those are just a bunch of trash mobs that popped up there. The light elementals for the light weather in the back, and Alkyonius from the 12th floor of Delkfoot Tower was a heavily botted boss until it was changed. I'm actually shocked Leaping Lizzie. I know that Leaping Lizzie is in Onimos, but there's actually a lot of stuff in Onimos they can't use here that is very noteworthy in all of Eureka, but especially in Onimos. Where's Bubbly Bernie? Bubbly Bernie is in Thanolin. Yeah, they didn't. So Kufim Island doesn't have music, but the theme they use there, I don't remember what it's from. I think it might be from cutscenes in Xylar. I actually don't remember what that theme is from. The one that plays in Kufim Island. Because Kufim Island is dead fucking silent. So I don't remember what that theme was. I think it's some random cutscene music from Rise of Xylar. I genuinely, I gotta look it up. It's gonna drive me insane, but I'll look it up later. And then there's a bunch of other references too that they reference. They reference the airship pass acquisition in the quest follow up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They reference Olmia. They reference Memoria de la Stona. They reference some of the scenes that you get from Chains of Promethea. And then we're clearly setting up for Promethea. Oh, yeah, big surprise is that Aelnarsh teleports you to Altair, which is the final area in Chains of Promethea, mind you. Surprising and not. Actually, the Apocalypse Nigh fight takes place in the Imperial Paradox, which is in Altair. And that is a Xylardian city that was, sunk to the bottom of the sea, basically. But still very surprising. It's not like he's ever made mention of it. It's not like a thing that was like ultra tied to him. We're probably going to the Imperial Paradox because they set up Promethea. They pretty much said Promethea is a boss in the next one. It's set in stone. Because he says, oh, you dealt with the ancients, but what about gods? And the two gods are Promethea and Altana. So Altana could still show up as a fight. You never know. I think Promethea is the final boss, but yeah. Promethea is definitely there. He's definitely a boss.
So much mention of Altana that, like, I think Altana eventually shows up.
I don't know. It's hard to say. So what is also implied throughout this story is that Alzal is actually from Vana'diel. They almost outright say it at one point here, but Surreal Jaw kind of flushes the notion aside with it. So he kind of starts to say it and then flushes the notion aside, where Prish is made out of what's it called? Electrope. But it seems to imply that Alzal is actually from Vana'diel, which most people predicted he was a representation of the player character. That was a common theory for the first raid. But it seems like we're moving closer.
Because I still don't know who he could allude to. Like, there's like, in everything that I've experienced, I don't think there's anything that he could allude to being like outside of his race. I don't think there's anything.
I started playing the intro music again by accident because I leaned on the space bar. Jump scared myself there. Yeah, no, there isn't. Also, he seems to know everything about all these bosses that you'd only knew if you actually did the story. That's the big thing. Him knowing that Eldnarsh was Camelot's older brother throws Camelot for a loop for a brief moment. You only know that from doing the Rise of Xylart story, the actual missions. Yeah. And if he's the representation of the player character, it would mean it's the only way he could be in the same room as Zaid, Aldo. Like, there's nobody else who knows that in the story and the lore.
What if this is some fourth wall shit and it's just like a 14 player who's played fucking 11?
Honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised.
That would be the most sick thing Square would do.
Yeah, so it could also be an actual embodiment of Altana. It could be like Altana gave herself So one of the big things lore-wise, and this is actually explained in this patch, is that the 5 Enlightened races are actually tiers of Altana. And it's possible they could play into that here as well. It's also worth mentioning that the echoes of the Walk of Echoes that we keep hearing about is actually a cross-dimensional plane in Final Fantasy XI. Like, Surreal Jaws says he's seen the Walk of Echoes. He's been to the Walk of Echoes. So pulling a player character or some sort of representation of the player character from there is also not that surprising. So there's...
What if it's Matsui?
It's not Matsui P. I promise you it's not Matsui P. I promise you it's not Matsui. You know how I know that? Because Matsui P is a character in 11, and he's a ninja sub-black mage. He's a trust.
Damn.
This guy is not a ninja or a black mage, and I don't think Matsui P would stop being that. If he was either of those things, I'd give it to you, but he's not, unfortunately.
Oh, he would have been Ataru. Oh, okay.
And Matsui P is also Ataru, yes.
Yeah.
Matsui P is Ataru, Yoshi P is a Lalafell, funnily enough. So.
Wow.
Yeah. But no, it was pretty good. I'd say my overall grade is that it's about the same quality as the first 24 man.
So again, not bad.
Yeah, my only question is for the next one is, will they pull bosses from treasures, wings? Because they pull the COP boss from this. If they do only Chains of Promethea bosses next time, it's rough. I don't think they could do Absolute Virtue. I think we'll see Jailer of Love, but not as a boss. And
a mob?
Yeah, I think like, you know how they do like Jagged Ear Jack and Poison Hand.
Jagged Ear Jack.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. I think we'll see him as a trash. We'll see him as trash at some point, which is weird because we'd have to go back to Altair, but I guess we could. I think Promethean Vasal's bosses, so the 3 Emptiness, I think will be a boss. Promethea, easy boss, so that's 2. If they stick with COP, Jailer of Love is a possible one. I did originally guess Altana would actually be the final boss, but I've since I'm gonna rescind that guess. I'll leave it there as like I mentioned it, but that's possible. In terms of other COP bosses, like there's Oryu, but Oryu's just another dragon, and after Fafnir, like you know what Oryu's known for, Sly?
What?
He flies. He lifts off the ground and you can't hit him with melee attacks. That's it. Like Bahamut is there. Bahamut was only an endgame fight, not a story fight. He did have like an easy mode and a hard mode. But like the big thing with Bahamut is he summons dragons. And he summons Tiamat. That's the big problem is most of the most memorable bosses from Chains of Promethea are also fucking dragons. Like, that's the problem. Like, they're all the most memorable bosses. Jormungand, Tiamat, Oryu, and Vritra. I don't think you want to just do another dragon. Like, there is Tenzin, but Tenzin was like a 3-minute Zerg fest where you just got fucked by a bunch of Tarus at the same time.
Ayo.
Like, I don't know. It's like if I think they might want to pull from other expansions, from like Wings.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like Ottergon has a couple of decent ones, but like they can't do Alexander or Odin. I mean, they could, I guess, but I don't think they will.
Angra Mainyu, no, they've already done Angra Mainyu in 14, so they wouldn't go with Angra Mainyu from 11.
Sid's head. Yeah, Sid's teeth can be a boss. There you go. Sid's fucking open mouth. It could just be a giant Sid head going, ah. Fucking tank busters bite.
We did talk about considering Lilith, maybe?
Yeah, no, but Lilith is like, has to be a fine. I don't think you could do Lilith as anything other than a final boss. And like Galul Jaja, he is a boss in 11. And that is who you're standing next. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the second last boss was Galul Jaja. I straight up wouldn't be surprised. Like, there's Medusa and, like, that's the thing. There's so many 11-pilled things. Naja Salahim, of course, is a boss. Yeah, we know.
No. Well, yes. I want to beat that bitch's ass. Yes. You know what? Yes. Please.
That turned around real quick. Yeah, like Galul Jaja with a bunch of mammal jaws is not out of the question as a boss, I think. Like Galul Jaja is literally from Treasures of Ottergon. And we may defeat him, and then his vessel becomes Promethea after beating him, in a sense. I don't know. Like, maybe one of the bosses is just Surreal Jaw and Galul Jaja. Like, that's not out of the question. Surreal Jaw is also... Yeah. Surreal Jaw is a boss. I think he shows up in Besieged. Surreal Jaw. He's not like important. There is a surreal something. There's Jaheel, Surreal. There's a lot of heels. A lot of eels in there. So, there's a few things. We did also have the hint that he said Bakul Jaja might be a brute, but he also might be useful. So, I don't know if that's going to play a role in the boss selection in any way. But Galul Jaja, what's another one? I mean, Wings has a not good array of bosses, I'll be honest.
You're about to say Wings has a ton of bosses. Wings has not good.
Wings has Lilith. And that's kind of it. Like, there's Kate Sith. But they kind of all suck. All the Wings bosses. Like, they're just not good bosses to use. And I don't think they'll do... Seekers has great bosses, oddly enough, but I don't think they'll use any of them.
If they do Lilith, you have to give her an interaction with Dote where she just automatically kills you.
No, they don't, Sly.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Like, people are horny for Lilith. What do you mean?
Yeah, they have two reasons why they love Wings of the Goddess.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rhapsodies has a bunch of good bosses, but again, I don't think they'll use anything from Rhapsodies. Like, they're not going to use Cloud of Darkness from Rhapsodies.
No.
That's it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But the big thing is we got Lilith's armor, but that is like a really notable armor set at the same time. So it's like I don't think that's like indicative of them using Lilith in any way. And they're not using any of the app. They're not using fucking Kupo Deatot. They're not using the fucking Crystalline Prophecy boss. They're not using the Abyss. Some people thought maybe Shinryu, but like Shinryu's weird. Do you know what Shinryu is in Final Fantasy 11? Sly?
Trying to remember, but tell me.
He's canonically Promethea if he ate the Warrior of Light. Like, it's Promethea beats the Warrior of Light and then becomes Shinryu. So that doesn't make sense unless it's after Promethea. And then that's also after the game's prime. So it's kind of like weird. Maybe Promethea eats Alzal and becomes Shinryu. I don't know. Sure. But that's like people quit during Abyss. Like that was when people mass quit 11 because they raised the level cap. I don't think you want to invoke that, even though Abyssy actually is not that bad. I'll say it. Abyssy was not bad content. And people were babies about it. I was a baby about it. I'll admit it. I was one of those babies. In all honesty, pretty good content. Yeah, they did use him in the Final Fantasy 11 collab in Grand Blue. That's true. Maybe they like him enough. So maybe we'll see it. I think it's a bad choice. I personally think it's a terrible choice. But I'll at least put it out there. Makes sense. So I got 3 bosses I feel okay about prediction-wise. But we'll see. All right. So that's it for the major story bits and the encounters, the raids and the trials. Then we have the other things. Maps. They fucking, bro, the maps this expansion are loaded with loot. It's insane.
Okay, so let's talk about maps itself. Let's go over something that a lot of people, again, we are,
they don't know
are
what
a
it is, Sly. They don't know what it is, Sly. It's not even that they don't do it. They don't even know what it is.
1, they don't know what maps are. 2, in terms of this patch, they don't read. It's like you said earlier, they don't read. So
who doesn't read?
You gotta remember that the loot table for the brush skins and the gargantua skins are the same with
not entirely
with a caveat. With a caveat. Yes. And I found this out last night. So yeah. All in all, from the gargantua, let's talk about the gargantua skins and One Iron or
gargantua skins are actually new. They're relevant to this patch.
Yes. Yeah. So the gargantua skins are the treasure maps that are limited only to living memory. Like any map you get for any gargantua skin you get, it's going to be in somewhere in living memory.
Yeah.
That is how you get to Vault Oneiryn. Once you are in Vault Oneiryn, well, giving my experience, I've gotten to, on my maps, I've gotten to the 4th pool. I've gotten a greater, I got an elder, of course, lesser is easy. Now I have seen, like, okay, funny thing. Once you get to the 5th pool, that is your
Final Fantasy.
Yeah. That is your Final Fantasy. I never got my Final Fantasy. Not yet. Oh, of course, weird things can happen on your pools. 1, you will get something, and if it electrifies, there's a chance that the slots will shift down to something else.
Mm-hmm. You can also fully respin,
and that is how my tank Bree last night got a fever dream. Yeah. So what is a fever dream? is where you go pick up a bunch of sacks while avoiding yans.
I loved it. Big
and it is you have a time limit. I forget what the time limit was.
2 minutes.
But basically 2 minutes. Okay. So you have 2 minutes to get 100. Now, I may be wrong because this is the first and only time I saw it.
Okay.
But that pretty much guaranteed Bree her yen.
No, wrong. There are 3 things that can drop from it.
Okay.
The Gimme Kitten minion.
Ooh.
The Yan minion. And the Yan mount.
And the yen mount. Yeah.
So, getting the Yan is not easy. So, the Fever Dream.
Sheesh.
Yeah. But it seems
she
like
got her yen.
Yeah, she got a Yan mount.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's actually some other RNG things that are really cool that can happen. Rainbow slots.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Rainbow slots have a 50% chance of being the Fever Dream and a 50% chance of something else, but you cannot be ejected on a rainbow slot. Mm-hmm. It's very much like a rainbow door.
Yeah.
There's the sad face, which is the opposite.
Which is the ejection.
It's a 50% chance of ejection or stay.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a thing. There is the chance that upon your ejection, and I know how you see it. Normally when you get ejected, it just fades to black. That's all it does, fades to black, you're out. If you get the ejection things on the slots and you get ejected, there will be like cubes in the middle. Like there'll be cubes in the middle. When it starts to fade to black, there'll be like 4 cubes in the middle. And then they'll start to like electrify. That means you've made it back. And then it'll re-roll.
So you can see the cubes without being saved, but that's where you want to look. Yeah. Because I've yet to be saved on the fade to black. I've been waiting for it to happen. I've yet to be saved on the fade to black. In fact, I've only been saved.
That happened to me.
So I had on my first map, I had an ejection and it re-rolled the ejection, like a normal re-roll.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, but I've yet to have the, as I call it, Zeus or Ramu.
Yeah.
I've yet to have that save me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, I've been told that it is there. But yeah, these maps, these are really good maps.
They're fun. They are really fun. And a lot of the, like pretty much all the graders spawn some other, like they're, kind of like what the golden alpaca is, kind of like that enemy. So they'll spawn versions of that. Like the graders will always spawn a like set or a set of versions of that. So you'll get some of the, I guess, I don't know names,
or gold cats or all
that.
That is like that in all the roulettes as well. If you get an elder summon, which is what those are, those are elder summon. Well, there's 2 different. So here, the greater fancies summon one random one, regardless. So it's just like you'll get one of the random encounters. The elder imaginings are themes. If you get the Mandragora, you're getting Mandragoras. If you get the cat, you're getting a bunch of gold cats. If you get Goldus, then you get a mix of Goldus and gold cats. So there's some, it's just guaranteed like higher amounts of bonus loot. But obviously everyone wants the Fever Dream because you want Yan.
Right.
Yeah. Fever Dream's the big one. That's huge. I'm going to be doing a lot of maps. I said I either need to make enough gil to buy a Yan from my maps or I need to get the Yan. And I'm just going to keep doing it until that's the case. Great maps. Really enjoy them. They're far different. They're far more fun. I would actually like to see even more stuff like the Fever Dream. I don't know. Can you land on the 3 big crystals outside of Final Fantasy? I've only seen the 3 big crystals on Final Fantasy.
It is possible. It is possible.
I've never seen it because that's not a greater fancy. That's not an elder. I don't know what that is.
That's Fever Dream.
No. That's the treasure.
I thought that was Fever.
That's the treasure chests. Is Fever Dream.
Oh, okay. The three big crystals are we've had that happen at least once on somebody's map. I forget who, but
I've only seen it happen on the Final Fantasy. The Final Fantasy seems like it's either the ejection or the big crystals. I've yet to see the big crystals otherwise.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I need to see it used otherwise. Because I don't know what that actually does. Because I assume that there would be a bonus game equivalent since they're slot machines, and that's kind of like a big thing is to get the bonus game. Fever Dream seems to be the bonus game, but I was thinking it'd be more like the exclamation mark on the roulette wheel, where it like, you know how the exclamation mark becomes, it's either exclamation mark or like ejection. It becomes a 50-50. I assume it would make your next one like, you know, Fever Dream or Exit and nothing else in between. No.
One point I do want to go back.
3 crystals is a greater fancy. Those are the little crystals. There's 1 little crystal, 3 clustered of crystals, and then the giant chaos.
The giant crystal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm referring to, the giant crystals. I've only seen those on the 5th spin. I've never seen 3 of them line up outside of the 5th spin. And that's what gave me Final Fantasy. So
perhaps I want to go back to the original point of the loot pool. Now,
so big.
Again, you can get some of the things from Oneirin in Broshkins, correct? That is still the case.
Other than the Yan stuff, it should be the case, yeah. I think the Gimme Kitten, the Yan Minion, and the Yan Mount are exclusive to Gargantuous. Very similar. So, to be clear, Hyflodeus and Emmett's minion, who I don't remember the other one. Those were exclusive from the roulette wheel from Silver Stones.
Yeah.
And the Beavers before that, I think, was the other one. So we have had that. The second map usually has like 1 set of unique loots, but
something exclusive. Okay, so yeah, but everything else like among the pool is shared between Oneirin and the doors.
Yeah, you can get Figmental coffers, the linens, all that stuff.
Yeah, all the new stuff, the diachromatic, whatever it's called. Yeah, I've seen them both. So if you're not exclusively going for Gimme Kitten, Yan Minion, or Yan Mount, yeah, just do Broshkins. One, it's cheaper.
No.
They're cheaper right now. Like,
I said no.
Why?
Just why bother if I can't get a Yan?
I mean, like, again, if you're really going for Yan, go ahead. Like, gather your map, your daily map. You can get one from
Wondrous Tales.
You can get one from Wondrous Tales, and then of course the market board, which is kind of ridiculous right now because again, there aren't a lot of maps in the ether because patch just hit on Tuesday, so it's not as saturated as Broshkins.
I'm just doing Gargantuous skins. You can't change my mind.
Okay.
You don't run my life. I run my life.
So
she probably runs my life, but that's fine.
So yeah, they kind of should have specified that within the patch notes because they clearly say this in the patch notes. Like, even though this, you know, the loot table is shared. They should have kind of like put an asterisk and said, like, with few exceptions.
I mean, you could say that about any expansion. They've never done that.
Yeah.
So, whatever. They're fun. I'm logging in like every 2 or 3 days just to do them.
Yeah.
Speaking of logging in, I'm doing Unreal again. I stopped doing Suzaku because I got tired of being scared whether or not one person making a mistake would lead to a wipe.
Yeah, so I've heard Seiryu is dog shit easy.
Oh yeah. He's yeah. Him and Byakuya were always easy, like Extreme Trials even back in the day. Yeah. But he's like exceptionally easy. He's like Ultima. He's like Ultima level difficulty.
Really? It's that bad. Oh my god. Let me put
it this way. This was true back in the day also. The only mechanics that can kill you are the tank buster, failing to do a tank swap. Just a fucking bottom bitch tank swap. And the towers? And you can fail towers and not wipe. You don't wipe automatically from failing the towers. You just get a damage down and it does some damage. It's not even like a crazy amount of damage. Like, we had one fail and we lost like 20,000 health and got one stack of damage down. It didn't fucking matter in any capacity. And that damage down should in no way... I mean, yeah, if you get like 6 or 7 and survive somehow, yeah, Maybe. I don't think you can only get up to 4 anyway. You can't fail more than that. Anyway, besides the point. Yeah, it's like nigh impossible to like die. There's only 1 or 2 spots in the whole fight you could actually die. Honestly, a healer dying before the split damage AoEs is probably the only way you die. That's how we wiped. We wiped once because a healer with an AoE.
Oh yeah, because it's the 50-50.
Yeah, because then 50-50. Who's gonna get the actual second cleave is random.
Yeah.
There is a way to save that, mind you. If you as the remaining healer take the first one alone and die and somebody else just reses you, then the second one is just going to go on the rest of the players.
Yeah.
That's the way to solve that, by the way. If you ever have that happen, everyone other than the remaining healer stack up, let the remaining healer die. So make sure you have a reser. But like, that's how you do it. So.
I mean, well, it's an Unreal. You can't. Well, yes, you can. I don't know. Can you use a Phoenix Down?
No, you can't use a Phoenix Down.
No, okay.
In that fight. No.
Okay.
Not eligible.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, that's the way to survive if that happens.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So perhaps somebody actually already asked the question I was going to ask. So for the next patch, since we have already gone through, Byaku, Suzaku, and Seiryu.
Gotta be Shinryu, man. Give me Shinryu. Tsukiyomi, I don't think is a good idea. I think it's too hard for the PF. There's way too much that's going to go wrong on the Meteor phase. Meteor phase is going to be a fucking disaster. Give me Shinryu. Shinryu's icicles are bad, but that's it. Come on. Just give me Shinryu. Give me Susanoo.
I've still been wanting Ravana for... Yeah, I've been wanting Ravana for the longest time. Please give me Ravana.
I'll double back and grab him. I'm very okay with that. But yeah, I don't think Tsukiyomi is a good idea. So either we're done with Stormblood, or they're gonna do Shinryu. I feel like,
or they can do weapon.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That would be Shadowbringers. They're done. I'm saying that's the next. I don't think they're gonna go right into weapons. I think they're gonna save weapons at least a little bit longer. I feel like they want them all grouped together in the same expansion, because if they do them now, they'd have to do. I mean, I guess that's not entirely true, because like they did Titan Shiva, Leviathan, and then Ultima, the next expansion, and then Thornton, and then that's Anyway, we never got Nidhogg. I think Nidhogg would probably be pretty rough for Unreal, but yeah, I would also like Nidhogg.
Yeah, Nidhogg's fun. I think Nidhogg would be a fun in Unreal.
My name is Kyle. Anyway, bring it back.
I am named Kyle.
Fucking Kyle. He does say that in Extreme, so we'd have to hear it again. I'm hoping Shinryu for me personally. And then for some other random little tidbits that popped up in this patch, don't forget there are new big fish.
That is correct.
I don't know anything about
them. Of course, with new gatherables and everything, there are new Crafter Gatherer sets.
Yeah, there are, and they look very good.
They look very good. Great.
And the Stingray minion too for fishing. That's true.
God damn, do they require a lot of fucking heliometry?
They sure
if
do.
You are, so if you're not throwing money at it, it's a lot of heliometry. It's a lot of heliometry, a lot of scripts too. A fuck ton of scripts. Purple scripts.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of them requiring that many mats. I'd rather that be the case than you just instantly grab everything and be fucking done because you then craft it. And then you got to do pre-crafts and shit. It's like it's a lot. And I'm really glad. They really should have those kind of things, especially here. With this is the final set, make it be something that you got to like actually put a decent amount of resources into. 58.5 thousand purple scripts.
That's a lot of Psychons.
What?
that's a lot of Psychons. Yeah, Time did the calculation yesterday. I was like, Time, how many inventories is that worth? I think you want to say like 4 inventories worth of Psychons, which Psychons are the easy purple script things.
Yeah, psych
like
on these nuts. I remember. That's what I used.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, so it's like 3.7 in full inventories worth of Psychons for all of that.
Yeah, I think
and I usually do
that's how
Psychons for
it
books.
should be like that's like it's for a new set of crafted gear. That's like the last set. Like yeah, because you're gonna be going into Cosmic in a month. Like it should
Cosmic with this, and then 7.4 when we make the new crafted set for raid and everything, and you'll already be pretty much good by then. Because like again, all the melds we pretty much have right now will take us to 8.0.
Yeah, and they added some of the script mats into Cosmic. Like if you wanted to get this, like lower your script mat amount, you can buy them with Cosmic credits, which is also something I'm glad to see them do as well, because that's like
options.
It's great. Good. At least one of the fucking relics gets them. At least somebody's getting options. God.
Oh man, you gotta love it.
Yeah, like that's great. It adds, and I'll say this: not only did they add a decent amount more value to Cosmo credits, the new BIS requires tier 9 materia, which get your islands out, because if you've been keeping track of your islands, I know some people have made tens of millions of gil selling 9s off of islands. Yeah.
I need to get back to my island, pup.
Yeah, high demand. That's the long play working out for the people who actually kept up with their fucking islands. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to get more cordials, like some little bitch.
Yeah. Yep, just getting ready for fucking Cosmic, just getting cordials.
Yeah, cordials. I mean, Cosmic. Also, I really hope that they give us high cordials or Cosmic cordials or something in the next one. That would be great. Cosmic has gotten a lot better for leveling because of the changes that came with it, especially for gathering, because you get the GP restore. You don't need to get anything above bronze now to effectively level, which helps. So if you don't care about the silver gold, you can just get bronze rating. So that's another big thing. And I took a little peek into Occult Crescent today.
And
I did a pot friend. You want to guess how many coins I got from a bronze chest?
How many?
200 silver, 360 gold. From one pot. A bronze chest from a pot friend. That's a fucking lot.
Yes, it is.
Them pot friends are definitely worth stopping and doing now, because it's and also they made another change. Sly. Oh my god, you get 1,000 silver and 1,600 gold for a gold pot friend? Yo, that's nuts. You know what they did to carrots, Sly?
What?
You can get carrots from the chests you open with carrots. So people have gotten like 3, 4, or 5 carrots just from one carrot from getting refunded.
And carrots are still kind of worth it, aren't they? They've gone down, but I'd say they're still worth it. Like,
yeah. Oh, they're absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't buy them to make gil, but in terms of achievement hunting or the value of getting an individual carrot, like the individual carrots are still worth a lot because achievement hunters still need a ton of them. But the carrot, and also I'm pretty sure you get silvers and golds from carrots also now, is what they said. I don't know what the number is, but you get silvers and golds from carrots. You can get another carrot, and there's still some items in the carrot loots that are better, that are good as well. If they also, I think they added something else to the carrot loot table. So yeah, they've good reward update. A lot of really positive ways that they've adapted the loot table there and made them retroactively better. Like, good. I'm glad to see it. We wanted to see that, and they did it. Now they need to stop letting it happen initially and then fixing it later, because that's been a problem since Endwalker. Be like, yeah, rewards aren't good enough. I don't know. Give them glowy weapons next time. Be like, yeah, no, you can't keep doing it after the fact. Like you wait until the 3rd criterion to make decent loot, and even then, not really it, man. Really worried about Quantum. really, really worried about quantum loot. I don't know what they're going to do in Blessed Hordes that is going to make people want to do their challenge log or to honestly do anything other than quantum 40. Like, I only want to do the other quantum tiers in any capacity to see the mechanics for each quantum tier. Like to see how the boss evolves. But in terms of reward, I don't know what you're going to put in Blessed Hordes that are going to make people go, yeah, I really want to do that all the time. I don't know. I don't want to do my challenge log and get fucking indigo stars, Sly. I don't want
Please
that.
don't put that in the please don't put that in the fucking loot table, please. We don't need them.
I mean, clearly one of the mounts we saw is from there. One of them is probably from beating it 4 times. One of them I think they said was actually from the glass. What was the item from the thing? The glass that they I don't remember, but they were rewards we could buy. There was like some sort of currency they said we were going to get that was unrelated to everything. I'd have to look in the Discord, but they like showed the gay bush as one of the mounts for that the pride bush.
Pride bush.
We call it we call it the gay bush. We have the gay slots whenever we get the rainbow slots. There you go. Stained glasses. Yeah, but no, that's not what they said with the thing. Maybe they just worded it poorly, but that's not what they said in the thing. They made it sound like there was like a currency that you got from something else. I don't know. But yeah, at least one mount is in there. But like you can't, the only difference in loot for Quantum 15 versus Quantum 40 is more Blessed Hordes. Like, why the fuck would anyone do that? Oh, no, actually my chat came up with an answer. Sly. 50,000 Blessed Horde achievement.
Yeah, I'm good on that one. I'm good. I'm good.
You're going to have to do a lot of Quantum 40 if you want the 50,000 Blessed Oh, man. Anyway. So. I feel like I was missing something. I wanted to bring up Occult Crescent. We brought up Cosmic. We brought up the crafting and gathering gear. We brought up big fishing. Brought up PvP. Oh! The Series 3 rewards were put in the patch. The False Monarch set and the Watermelon mount.
Good.
So, I think we could say they've established a pattern. Now, they caught up Series 1 or 2 for 7.2 because 6.1 and 6.2 were Series 1 and 2. So, they threw 1 and 2. And now we have Series 3. I think we are now every patch we should expect. If they skip one, I'll be wildly surprised. But at this point, we should expect the old series rewards to be every single patch.
Yeah.
False Monarch set's a great set, too. If you're mad at all the modern-looking PvP gear and you miss Series 3, you probably like the False Monarch set. Some high fantasy shit. It's like some Dark Souls shit.
Yeah. I still have mine. Yeah, I have mine.
Yeah. And if you missed the watermelon-colored Allegan Defense Node mount, that's 5,000 trophy crystals as well. So, a couple of things.
You probably have. If you've been doing some front lines, well, yeah, probably have it.
Well, the watermelon one is specifically from Series 3.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, it's not the regular ADS mount. It's the watermelon. Everyone calls it the watermelon mount. So, it just looks like it's watermelon flavored. So, it's like a watermelon jawbreaker. Yeah.
Ew.
And you need a lot of trophy crystals for the new modern glam if you do want it. A lot of casual PvPers right now. Trying to get all those sets.
A lot.
Yeah. But yeah, some good things. But overall, like I said, like I'm really just going to be logging in to do Unreal. I'll be logging in to do maps. But they should really consider. Oh, there is one other thing you could grind this patch that isn't. So there's the Extreme Trial mount, which they were supposed to fix today. The totem problem. The music sheets. So there's 14 fucking music sheets from the new 11, right? I know some people who grinded Juno like crazy for those. And now with the changes, that's probably won't take as long. But they are separate.
Are the changes grandfathered into Juno as well?
Juno has more than 3. I don't know exactly how it worked. Juno has, I think it was 1 from the second boss, 1 from the third boss, 3 from the last boss, which I don't think it always was. I don't recall. Been a while. But
doesn't say they changed it in the patch notes. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I was like, maybe I just didn't remember how it was. But there are 5 in Juno now, I believe. So I don't remember if that was always the case. I don't think it's like the per party and it's like 12 per party. That whole amount I don't think is there. But yeah, the music sheets from the new one. Yeah, there's a lot of music to get. So I know some people are going to go nuts for that. There are 5 and they're party bound for Juno. Okay, yeah, there you go. So they did change them, just not as many.
Yeah.
So, I run Juno every week. I run every 24-man every week whenever it's like an odd numbered patch. So I'll run Juno and Sandoria every Tuesday now. So I'll see plenty of
for
them.
the coin.
For the coin, I don't even really need the coin. I just like doing it for people. Like I don't need upgrade mats. Obviously. I've been sitting on 2,000 mathematics for 2.5 months. Like I don't even buy the fucking
same.
Buying the tome gear anyway.
Yo, and we were like, me and Tom were talking about this. Want to talk options? Let us fucking convert our mathematics to heliometry, please.
No, you just want to do that to skip your crafting. Just you fucking go gather your shit.
I've already fucking threw money at my crafting gear. Like I don't have to worry about the most thing I have to worry about is fucking melting. That's it. But yeah, let us fucking do that, please.
No, I'm good. No options there. I disagree.
Of course you would. Of course you would.
No, I don't agree. Not for you, Sly.
Sure.
You'll be all right. All right. Anyway, I think that covers everything for 7.3. Everything that at least was on my medium. I'm like, yeah, we can talk about chat bubbles and the cast bar thing and, cool. Duty recorder got updated again, Sly. We didn't get a patch note show for me to bitch about it, so I'll bitch about it now.
Yay.
I did record a patch note video from my suite. I thought about doing it from the beach, but I didn't feel like doing it out in the hotness. Not with a MacBook. Those things do not circulate heat at all.
Did you have like a lab mic? Did you have like a Rode or something or
a what?
A lab mic, a lavalier mic.
No, I just spoke into the shit ass microphone. I'm on vacation. I'm not trying to fucking prepare as if I didn't even know I was going to make that video. Oh, Living Memories lit up. Living Memories lit up again because of the story. Yeah. And it looks better than the original light up. It's not fucking like my eyes are being pissed on the entire time. I'm getting fucking
it looks more verdant.
Entire time. Yeah.
Oh my God. Why?
Listen, it was the only pissing on thing I could. The Dave Chappelle immediately popped up into my head the moment I said being pissed on. And from there...
Surprised you didn't have a hand job joke for fucking Necron.
No, he was... I was too focused on being a good commentator at the start of the show, but we're now 2 hours in, over 2 hours in, so that's gone at this point.
Yeah.
All right, but that's going to be a wrap for this show. Now, we are going to do some more story-related shows, specifically. I have a few ideas. We should be having shows weekly for the entirety of the month of August, unless something comes up. I'm not traveling or going anywhere, nor do I have anything, so I shouldn't be interrupted. Want to do a story show? We want to do a Final Fantasy XI show. Also, one thing we want to do is go over some of the references, talk about some of the other high points in 11. I have some people in mind for that.
And luckily, I will be getting back to 11 sometime this month, especially before Super Robot Wars Y and Shinobi comes out. But yeah, I'll be getting back to 11 before and after that. So
yeah. And then we want to do some like predictive shows of stuff. We want to maybe do some shows ahead of content coming out, like a Deep Dungeon show ahead of the Deep Dungeons coming out.
Cosmic,
maybe ahead of Cosmic as well. things things that they did, things that we want to see. And not an impossibility for a 14 mobile show. They did have a live letter today. And we did also get some other interesting information, things that we will not have a specific show on. We did get confirmation that FanFest announcements are coming soon from the patch note reading on Monday night. So next live letter, they may not even take that long, maybe before that.
Yeah.
But we are getting our FanFest announcements soon, which is what was on my schedule. I said that August was when we should expect to see them. And if there's no live letter in August, the very next, because the timing is looking like end of January for North America's FanFest. Whether it's in Vegas or San Diego, who the fuck knows? But we'll see. Please don't be Vegas.
It's in
fucking
January,
Vegas now. Vegas post-pandemic is so shit. Don't make me go back.
I just hated Vegas because of the heat. Like, I like it when it's fucking, winter weather.
Yeah,
so.
like in July it sucks, but I mean in general Vegas sucks now.
Yeah.
Like, it just isn't good. And honestly, they shouldn't do it outside of a live letter. The FanFest announcement. So if they're doing a panel at PAX West, but they're not doing a live letter. So might be sufficient enough to make the announcement. Who knows? But yeah, we've got some stuff coming up soon. And 14 Mobile, actually, yeah, they had we saw a controller setup for 14 Mobile. I keep saying 11 because we're talking about 11 so much. 14 Mobile. We saw the controller support, and they basically replicated the cross hotbar, but there just doesn't need to be as many buttons. Looks great. Honestly, I don't see. Yeah. I would fucking hate to play it without controller after seeing it. After having played it and I'm being okay, but like versus like tapping on the screen versus no, just play it. Just get a fucking controller if you're playing 14 Mobile. Don't bother otherwise. It's gonna be so much fucking better. Okay, let's wrap things up. I got stuff to do. All right. Thanks for joining, everyone. And
Thank
Sly.
You.
Yeah. Do your outro, Sly.
Okay. Hi, I'm Sly. I stream. For people who don't know that still. You can find me at twitch.tv/Sly, aka Gray Fox, Twitter Sly, aka Gray Fox, Bluesky, Sly, aka Gray Fox. Fuck. Got a lot of things going on. Fuck. Today, got a lot of things going on. Right after this, I normally do Bourbon Hangout on Friday. This Bourbon Hangout's going to be interesting because I'm doing an Old Granddad blind tasting. See if I really know Old Granddad as much as I think I do, because it's my favorite bourbon brand. So that'll happen right after this. After that, at 8 p.m., for people who were there last week, you loved it so much. We're doing it again. We are doing Velvet Room Bar Trivia Name That Theme 2000s edition. So it'll be from the 2000. It'll be from 2000 to 2010. Again, TV, cartoons, video games, and anime. See if you really know your stuff. If you're just a boomer like me, I don't know. Tomorrow I'm starting the Shinobi Legacy series because Shinobi Art of Vengeance is coming out, and I played a demo and it's fucking awesome.
Sly,
holy shit!
I have to interrupt you. Say the line.
What?
Say the line.
Shinobi's back.
He said the line. Got it.
Shinobi's back. Yes, and it is so fucking awesome. In comparison to Ragebound was good. It's Ninja Gaiden. It's, vintage Ninja Gaiden. It's hard as fuck, naturally. But Shinobi has fucking style, god damn it. And it is hard as fuck, too. And I'm gonna lie, there's some hard as fuck shit there. So I will be doing a Shinobi Legacy series, starting out with Arcade Shinobi, and going to the release of Art of Vengeance later this month. There is a demo for Super Robot Wars Y. I will probably play it on Sunday because I was going to do it today, but they haven't come out with it yet. I don't even think. So just waiting on that. And yeah, like a lot of shit today, a lot of shit this month. It's right after this stream too. So, hey,
hell yeah.
So see you in mine. Happy. What about you? What's up?
I've also got a lot of shit going on, Sly. Mr. Happy 1227, all the usual areas. My plush is done. Anyone who got one is going to be sent out in the next 6 to 7 weeks at this point.
Nice.
Normally I don't care about Nintendo Directs that much, but the last one got me excited for a lot of reasons. Dragon Quest 1, 2 is
Zero?
not too far in the future. Octopath Zero is in December and does adapt the first story arc of the mobile game, which was what I was hoping it would do. Side Orstera is it's in my opinion, Side Orstera might be one of the best. I think it might be the best Octopath story. Side Orstera. So the fact that they're adapting it into the game, I have full confidence this will probably be the best Octopath game from a story standpoint. On top of that, it's taking Champions of the Continents gameplay, which I think is superior to the basic Octopath gameplay. So very excited. We have Dragon Quest soon. Elliot's demo is out. I don't have a Switch 2. Sophie has a Switch 2, but I haven't plugged in my capture device yet, so I haven't played the demo because the demo is only on Switch 2, annoyingly enough. But that looks great. Super excited to play another. That's not going to come out till next year, but that's going to be another. That's an HD 2D Zelda-like with 2-player functionality, where the second person can play as the fairy. So I'm definitely excited about that. There is also Tactics coming out soon, which I gotta platinum that. That's gotta get added to the list. On top of that, I'm playing OSRS now. Just started. Going to be doing a group Ironman with. So far, it looks like Midna and Whoops. Not sure who else we're doing that with, but I will be doing Group Ironman. I'm going to be getting into Guild Wars 2 stuff, catching up with the expansions prior to Visions. I'm probably going to try to play Summoner in Visions. If I don't know. I don't know. People want me to play Troubadour, which is Bard, basically. We'll see, for obvious reasons. We'll see if that's going to be a thing. But I'm working through the personal story, the living world stories, Heart of Thor. I'll be working through all that. I'll be setting specific days of the week to work on Guild Wars 2 stuff. And then there's also... What else is coming out soon, dude? There's fucking... Trails in the Sky First Chapter Remake is coming out soon.
Yep.
That's in September, I think. We obviously have updates for 14 in about 3.5 weeks. Should be the Cosmic and the Relic. October 7th, probably the Deep Dungeon and Quantum, which I already have a team for as well. Yeah, it's a lot. And interesting. Blue Protocol is going to be out soon.
Yes,
out. They announced a closed beta.
Actually out.
Yes. The beta, they said, is soon, and they said they plan on launching as soon as beta is done. They plan on rolling beta into the launch.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that's going to also be on the list, because Blue Protocol was something I was excited about for years, got canceled and revived. So that's interesting. RO3 got announced. I have no faith in that game, but I'm still going to try. I'll be honest. And also there's MapleStory Classic coming out sometime in the future. We don't know if it's near or medium, but we know that they had a whole test thing for it as well. So, and then there's Terra 2. I don't know when Terra 2 is, but it's a lot of MMO stuff happening in my downtime with 14, and not MMO stuff happening.
Titan Quest 2 early access just started today. I started that because I'm a whore for anything Greek, and it's actually really good.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that's good. Not surprised in any capacity. There's a lot going on. So I'm going to be struggling to make time for all of it. I'm going to have to hard schedule out days of the week. Not to mention, I still want to be keeping up with crowd control stuff occasionally. There's Crowd Control Kingdom Hearts 2 that I told everyone I was going to do at some point. And there's a bunch of other ones as well that, it's going to be busy. And I have to finish Dokapon, which we're on the final chapter now. We just need to beat the final boss.
Oh, wow. That's still going.
It's a fucking long game, man. And then we have to stop.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know something crazier? So we're playing Dokapon Kingdom Connect, which was what they recently remastered from 2007.
Mm-hmm.
They released a different one called Sword of Fury back in January. You want to know what the Steam review says about Sword of Fury?
What?
A more grueling experience than Dokapon Kingdom. It's harder. It's more antagonistic to the player than what I've been playing already.
So you're eventually going to do that, aren't you?
Yep.
Yep.
Vivi brought it up and we were like, are you fucking kidding me? Dokapon Kingdom's been one of the single most antagonistic experiences of our lives. And you're telling me it gets worse? Fuck, dude. All right, but yeah, that's everything I've got going on. So stay tuned. Fuck. Anyway, I'm hungry. I started snacking in the middle of that because my magic spoon
That's all.
Yeah, I couldn't help it. Just get a little snacky. So let's wrap this up. We'll do a short post show and then I'm gonna go grab some food. All right. Sounds good?
Alrighty.
All right.
Sounds good.
Thanks everyone for joining. We'll see you next week, probably for spoiler casts. We'll talk about the entire Dawn Trail story. I got a few guests I want to reach out to. We're planning on doing the show at the same time. If we have to be flexible for our guests, it could change, but otherwise next Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, be there or be a four-sided shape, as Sly would say, and has said, and is literally right here as I'm saying it. Yep. So thanks everyone for watching. We will see you next week. Bye-bye.
See you next week.